Strap in and hang on tight. Recently, Leslie Jones did an interview, and I can say a whole lot, but I want you to hear some of the key parts she said for herself. It's always a certain type saying it.
When it comes to dating, or are you an equal opportunity barker?
Yes, now I am.
But before, what was...
I think I had kind of turned a little blind eye to the black guys for a little while.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they were at the time, they were the group that I felt hated me the most.
What? All right. So, like I say, this interview is a bit tongue-in-cheek. However, I do not feel that these parts here are embellished. I'm pretty sure this is an honest assessment here. Now, my first response to this is, I'm going to need all the non-black men to step up. Damn! Yeah, so I need y'all to come on back onto the scene. Yes, as a matter of fact, I need all of y'all to come back onto the scene here is what I need.
That I would get the most unlove from.
So you had a penchant for light-skinned men?
Oh, I do like me a light-skinned man.
Oh, still?
Still.
Got it. What's a celebrity that comes to mind? Like Boris Kodjoe or...
Boris is fine.
He's so hot.
He's very fine. What was the other one, though?
Michael Ealy.
Oh, he's fine, too.
Jesse Williams.
He's fine,
Barack Obama.
He's fine, too.
It sounds like you just like men.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need all the white-skinned men, all the light-skinned men. I'm gonna need all of y'all to come step up to the plate. As a matter of fact, you all can get into an Uber. What? I'll pay for you all to get an Uber, a Lyft, something. Yeah, all of y'all need to come on over here. I figure it'll take more than one of you. But, yeah, she is in need, she has a preference, and I must insist I will do anything to make sure she gets her preference in this case right here, so. Yeah. Yes, Leslie has spoken, and I am insisting that these other folks here will be paying attention and listening. I'm going to have to insist on that. However, she wasn't done yet. Don't you just love it when some of these folks say the quiet part out loud?
The other one, though.
Michael Ealy.
Oh, he's fine, too.
Jesse Williams.
He's fine,
Barack Obama.
He's fine, too.
It sounds like you just like men.
Yeah. That's it. Especially powerful men.
You like a powerful man?
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
Mm.
Damn! And that right there answers so much. So much. Although I do find it interesting that she mentions her father, but does not mention her mother. So, I did find that interesting. She mentions dad, okay, she does not mention her mother. Now, there have been some other folks who have covered this interview here, but they have not given you the 720 degrees of analysis that you receive absolutely nowhere else. So, let me go ahead and play just a little bit more. Because then she's going to get into marriage here in just a moment. And then that'll be all we really need to hear, to be totally honest.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart.
Oh, it was smart.
Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so, really, that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my head.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
Don't get married?
No.
Okay.
Oh, God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is a...
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
Okay, all right.
It's like men.
So we heard that. All right, we're going to go ahead and back things up here, and now we're going to go ahead and get into my thoughts and commentary on this.
That's it. Especially powerful men.
You like a powerful man.
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
All right, well, first of all here, and before I get started, because as you all know, my stuff gets around, and it's a very high likelihood that Leslie will hear this. No disrespect, Miss Jones. No disrespect. However, ma'am, fathers know when they got a certain type of daughter. A father can look at his daughter and tell whether or not she's gonna be on easy street with men or whether his daughter gonna be on struggle boulevard. If your daughter gonna be on struggle street as opposed to easy street, he can look at his daughter and see whether or not she got the features to get the funds. And if he can look at his daughter and tell you the kind of chick that if a dude see you with a flat tire on the side of the road, he gonna probably press the accelerator, not the brake. So a father can tell whether or not you are gonna get male deference. Now, if he sees that male deference will be easy and simple to get, he's gonna give you one set of instructions. But if your dad can look at you and tell, this is not going to go nearly as nice as I would have thought. He's going to teach you how to work on cars. What? He's going to teach you how to do carpentry. Damn. He's going to teach you, baby, you going to have to fend for yourself. Damn. Yeah, dad going to prepare you for a world where men ain't going to do very much for you. So for the other chicks, they going to get assistance. For you, you need to be able to know how to change your own spare tires. You need to know how to repair your own lawnmower. You gonna have to know how to lift your own groceries. You gonna be that chick right there. That's who you gonna be. The other chick's gonna have a man to sit there and lift all this heavy stuff. You better learn how to put your back in it. You better learn how to put your back into it. By the way, your fitness so-called influencers only come in those two flavors too.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you?
Y'all, in the so-called fitness realm, particularly where the females are concerned, they only come in two flavors: fitness with a face card and fitness with a face to run from. So, yeah, she got to get that body together, so at least she took the right hint, because the fitness world is the same way. If you fighting with a deficit, you need to do something to address that deficit, or you will be lifting your own 25-pound water bottles. You will be doing that on your own. So, yes, indeed, as females here, a father know full well when he got a daughter and he starts telling her, now, you're going to have to go to college now. A lot of these chicks a lot of y'all think your daddy told you to go to college. He wanted me to be strong and independent. No, he knew you had to be strong and independent.
Deal with it, nigga.
Your daddy knew you had to be there. There's a whole bunch of chicks in college right now, size 16 and above, thinking that they raised me to be smart. No, they looked at you young and realized, this little ugly heifer here. Oh no, baby, you better go to school. You better go to school. You better go to school. You better get a PhD. You better get a doctorate. You better get all your certifications. Because you going to have to hump this by yourself. Oh no, it's gonna be you, a PhD, and Lane Bryant. That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be you, a PhD, and Lane Bryant. That is what you will get. That is what you will get, and that is what you're gonna have. So she thought Dad was just, he just give me advice, and Dad would just give me advice here. That's good. I'm so glad you said that. I'm like, okay. She didn't understand that. No, I'm just letting the females know right now there's a bunch of y'all who think that you think you killing the game and you got good life advice. You sure did. Your parents looked at you and realized, oh, yeah, the backup ain't coming. Backup is not coming. And they thinking we doing our own thing, baby. You got to. You have to. So yeah, when she talks about Dad told me he told me I'm not raising you to be a wife. He's like, yeah, he's like this too much of an uphill climb. You putting too much on me. I'm only one man. That's right, your father right there. This is the best he could do. She's like, hey, wait a minute, hold on. We're gonna have to teach you how to work a moving truck. Something here. So yeah, y'all, she took that part the whole wrong way. She thought that was a compliment. She took it the wrong way. My dad said, he ain't raising me to be no wife, because your father was like, let me work on what I can actually get accomplished. Let me help you. Let me teach you to get a career. I can do that. I can help you get that career.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart.
Oh, it was smart.
Most of the people that I know.
Some of y'all heard me before when I said, oh, it was smart. That's so brave. And I don't know if it's brave or smart. Oh, it's smart. Oh, it's smart. Yes, it is.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my head.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you don't.
Okay, for a beast of burden, I can imagine why she would think that. Well, hell yeah, because she knows she doesn't really match up to who is the man, and by the way, your white red pill dudes out there. Pretty soon I'll start saying names. I've been saying names on Patreon, but I'm going to start saying names here in a minute. Now they are latching on to the exact explanations I gave because they realize Rolo don't know. Their red pill gurus don't know. They know there's something missing, but they couldn't identify what it was. So you came here to the Black Book and we finally injected into the lexicon the why. Who is the man who is gonna stand in front of bullets for Leslie Jones? Damn! You want to know the benefits of marriage? You want to know the core benefit, the base benefit that the female gets? The base benefit you get, and your red pill gurus and your so-called godfathers could not define it. They all had to get it after I told them what it was. And they all said, well, that's great. Let me write that down. Who's the man who's going to stand in front of bullets for you? As a woman, when we say protector, that means that if there is a life and death situation, then you have someone else who is going to step forward for your protection. Well, who the hell's that gonna be? Who is that gonna be? I mean, first of all, it might take 2 or 3 dudes to take it down. Damn! That's the first thing, but I'm just saying, if there's gonna be a fella there, she gonna have to depend on him to do that. And she's gonna have to know he's actually going to do that. So before she can sit up here and talk about marriage or whatever, it's like, okay, who is the fellow who gonna stand in front of bullets for you? Who is that? Who is that guy gonna be? that you can guarantee and assure your family and friends, oh yeah, he would. You have to be able to answer that question first. Who's going to do that? If you know that that's not going to be a very long list, well, of course you're going to be like, damn, marriage. Well, yeah, because you got to get over that hump there first. Once you can answer that one, now we can move on.
There are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't think, I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh, God. You are.
Just because she's not eligible. She's not eligible. So if you all know, this has been the cycle among females, particularly black females, for the last 4 or 5 decades. The loudest, I want y'all to understand something. Once again, for your red pill retards and gurus and all the rest of y'all, get out your pen so you can start writing furiously again. You want to know who the loudest people in the room are anywhere you all have been? I've said this before. Let me go ahead and identify it one more time for you. The loudest people in the room, anywhere you go, are going to be fat women and short men.
And deal with it, nigga.
You think about this for a few moments. You think back over your life. Who were the people who came through the door like a herd of elephants? You go to Walmart today, Target today, you walk through the mall today, you're sitting at a restaurant today. Who is it who comes through the loudest? You find the sexiest female that's walking in the place, all you might hear is the clicking of them heels. That's all you gonna hear. The fat chicks show up, you hear them before you see them. Either because the ground is rumbling or because they're sitting up here yelling at each other like they're in the NBA game. So that's when you know size 16 and above is about to enter the forum. Next up is the short dudes. You find a fellow who's under 5'6", 5'4", whether it's prison or Circle K. He's going to be the loudest dude. He's going to be the loudest dude, the orneriest fella. You're going to hear him all the way from the damn gas pumps. He's going to be driving the biggest Crown Victoria he can get his hands on. He's going to be driving the biggest Crown Vic that he can get his hands on. And then he's going to open up the door like damn me George Jefferson. And out he's going to come. And I'm not, exaggerating. When you all think about that for a few moments, you realize, you know what? And Jason's right. Jason's right. Yeah, the fat chicks and the short dudes, those would be the two loudest people entering an environment. Now, obviously, you automatically know why that is. Compensation. Compensation. You see, as a female, your survival, let's get serious for a moment. As a female, your survival depends upon men deferring to you, men being readily available and quick to offer you assistance. As a female, your survival depends on it. It depends on it. And as a result, you are going to have to make sure that people notice you. Well, if you're a female who is naturally attractive or is accommodating or is friendly, you look the part, you don't have to fight to get people to notice you. You don't have to fight to get people to pay attention to you. However, if you do not look friendly, if you do not attract positive attention, you're going to have to get noticed in other ways. See, you got to understand something here. Do you realize how much of a woman's life relies on service? She goes to a restaurant, she goes to an auto shop, she goes to a school, she goes to a store. So much of a woman's life depends on her ability to get assistance, to get attention. So when you ignore a woman, when a woman is ignored on a regular basis, she immediately feels that when she looks around and sees everybody else getting attention and assistance and she doesn't get any. So she becomes very ultra sensitive to that because she sees smaller people readily getting assistance, readily getting people seeing to their needs. And she realizes, hey, y'all ain't give me nothing. Ain't I as a woman? Now, I wanted to also freeze frame right here because I want y'all to see something. The picture on your screen right here is very, very telling. The picture on your screen right here is very, very telling. Do you all realize that Leslie is actually a lot smaller than she actually appears here?
Nigga, what?
Take a look at this translucent outfit she's wearing. Well, you can see her real dimensions up under here. So do you realize she's wearing this great big huge thing that flares out, literally making her look 3 times bigger than she is? Once again, I'm the only person you're going to see who pointed this out. Everybody else is going for low-hanging fruit and not teaching anything. Take a look at both arms, but particularly this one right here. You can see her dimensions are actually far smaller and far slimmer. What I am telling you, though, is that when you've been living defensively your whole life, you start wearing intimidating things because this matches your personality. This matches your personality. So now it's time to stop these defense mechanisms, and she doesn't know how. It's time for her to let go of these defense mechanisms, and it's the only thing she's ever had, so she doesn't know how to let it go. That's the issue. She doesn't know how. So even when she has an opportunity to do differently, she's still using the same crude tools that she's had and nobody around her telling her otherwise. All right. Okay. So I just wanted you all to know, please don't be deceived by what she's wearing here. If you look through it, you can actually see what the real dimensions are and you realize, so what the hell is going on? What's going on is the inner character, or lack thereof.
Crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is a...
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
I mean, it's not beneficial for you. It's not beneficial for you. Let's be very, very clear here, folks. Women are not badgering, bugging, begging, bullying, beating, belligerence. All the B's you want to make, including that one. Damn! Women are not doing that because marriage ain't good. Women are demanding marriage because marriage is the bomb. Let's just quit the bull jive. Women are not demanding marriage because they don't know what they're gonna get. You don't have women sitting up here with bridal showers and demanding things and giving men ultimatums because marriage ain't lit. They're doing it because they get a whole bunch of fantastic benefits that they previously were not receiving. So what she's doing right here is silly talk. And any other female out there talking that garbage, women are not lined up trying to get pregnant by ball players, trying to get pregnant by icons, trying to get married. They're not doing that because it ain't great. They're doing it because it's all great. If it didn't work out for women, they wouldn't be lined up, going to therapists, going to specialists, going to gurus, sitting up here talking to so-called consultants, match experts. Women would not be doing that if they didn't take a look at married women and take a look at themselves and see a radical difference. They wouldn't be doing that. Depending on the quality of the male. Now, there's the caveat. Depending on the quality of the male. But if it's a quality male, oh, hell no. She's like, I'm done with this single life thing. I'm up out of here. So, no. And furthermore, you wouldn't have so many women demanding alimony and child support if marriage was not lit. They wouldn't be doing it. They would just get out here, divorce, and go humping on their own. She's like, oh, hell no. Even if I'm not a wife anymore, hey, I don't want them wife benefits. I want them wife benefits. So, yeah, this is the bull crap and the dishonest discourse that has overtaken society. This is the dishonest discourse that has overtaken society. If you have access to a quality male, marriage elevates your status as a female in a way that you being single simply never could for the remainder of your days. You go from wondering where your protection and provision and upgrades are going to come from to knowing where it's going to come from. Now, Leslie has never been able to take it for granted that a quality man is going to take care of her. Leslie has never been able to take that for granted. So when she sees young females, I'm going to have a conversation about all that tonight because we have got to talk about this 20s thing.
What? Damn!
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get into all that tonight. Leslie is taking a look at chicks in their 20s and because she's about to turn 60.
Nigga, what?
She's about to turn 60. So, yeah, there's a reason she's talking all crazy. She's talking crazy because she's taking a look at chicks in their 20s and realizing, as a wrap, those girls, if they play their cards right, they will have access to a world of benefits and a world of privileges. Because we talk about pretty privilege. Nigga, that ain't nothing compared to producer privilege.
And deal with it.
Because remember, it is men who do the fly stuff. If you have a quality man, you have consistent access to fly things that you simply cannot get or cannot do as a female. Period. So she's taking a look at chicks in their 20s and realizing that they get access to things that she doesn't. They get access to things that she's not. They get access to things that she is not going to have access to. So she's saying, well, damn it, if I got to do without, then damn it, all of us going to do without. And this is where they are today. This is where they are now. So all she's doing is going around to all the smaller, younger females, which is what has become the culture among the older black females, and just spread the poison. Now, I'm not saying that this is not also happening in white society, happening in Hispanic society, quiet as kept, happening in Asian society.
What?
I'm not saying it's not happening over there, but I'm speaking of this particular case here. If you don't believe it's happening with the white dudes, just go check what's happening on all their channels. We're going to get to that in just a moment. So what they're doing is just, they can't have it. So now it's kind of like men. You know, if a man starts getting too old for sexual activity, he starts starting wars like Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. That's how they exert their masculinity into the world since they can't physically do it. Well, when a woman can't physically exert her femininity, she goes around poisoning the other females. That's where that energy goes. That competitive energy moves from being competitive in a feminine way to being competitive in undermining and poisoning femininity. And that becomes their life's mission because she's no longer in line for any of the benefits. She's no longer in line for it, and so she starts talking about the world that she cannot have. Although, there is a part of it here that actually is kind of correct, because I will say, that marriage thing is not working out so great for most folks here. You got a bunch of females celebrating because they won the lottery. Usually it's some guy, even if he's just a guy making twice as much as her. She's like, well, that's $1 I ain't got to earn. So yeah, he ain't a millionaire, but it's $1 I ain't got to earn. So let me go ahead and do that. And that brings us to our newest test case here, folks. I mean, in the latest episode of Marriage Sucks and Do You Really Want to Get Yourself Off into This? Oh man, on your screen is currently making the rounds of scandal everywhere. The young lady on the left calls herself Linda Love. I guess she hasn't checked about previous porn stars, or maybe she did. Her name is Linda Love. She's a cam girl, among other things. And the fella on the right is one of her former clients. And you all didn't know him, but you did know him, though you didn't know that you knew him, because that is Todd Noem, the husband of Department of Homeland Security, or former Department of Homeland Security Secretary and former beauty pageant contestant, Kristi Noem.
What? Damn!
Yes, sir, folks. And let me go ahead and actually move the picture up a little bit here to get the graphics out of your way, so you can see the whole thing. This is the husband of the woman who has been serving as the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security for the last year. That is Todd Noem, Kristi Noem's husband. And just in case you thought the Epstein files couldn't get any deeper, this is what he has been doing. Now, in all honesty, she's not a spring chicken anymore, but Kristi was never brutal on the eyes. And dude was like, you know what? I'd rather dress up as the woman and pay another chick. It's real weird. He wants to pay to talk to another chick, but he wants to be one, but he wants to talk to one, but he wants to be one. So, and of course, the first scandal that broke was that she was having an affair with her chief of security. I mean, them two been like, the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell, them two been in the open with it. She was in front of Congress a few weeks ago with them grilling her about that. And now we know why. Now we know why she stepped down as director of the Department of Homeland Security. Now we know, because this was getting ready to come out that, by the way, hey, they're about to spill the beans on what your husband does. They're about to spill the beans. Now, to go ahead and put this all in context here, there is a story from the New York Post, but I'm not going to go there. What I am going to do instead is I'm going to take you to the Times of London, people, because this next part here is not quite so funny. It's not quite so funny because it tells us the problem with marriage, but it also tells us the problem across the board in other areas. This on your screen right here is the headline from the Times. Right here on your screen, model was paid $25 a minute.
Damn!
Not an hour. She was getting $25 per minute. You thought your prison phone calls were expensive.
Damn!
To talk dirty. You want to know why it is that females think that that they have some sort of viability getting older? Fellas, this is the simp economy powered by married men. It is married men who have supercharged the simp economy. Everybody else is in a recession, and the expert hoes are like, hey, I ain't missing a beat. These fellas are out here getting married, and then this is what's happening. This right here. The simp economy is crazy. And no, it wasn't Kristi's money, because if you do some background and actually check into this guy, you would actually know what was going on. But I'll take care of the heavy lifting of actually knowing what we're talking about here. The article says that the model was paid $25 a minute to talk dirty to Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband. Lydia Love, a webcam model for the chat site Cam Soda, tells The Times that Noem's husband liked to, quote, perform for her during intimate video sessions. When a scandalous set of photographs purporting to show the former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's husband were published online, the webcam model Lydia Love recognized them instantly. Quote, I definitely remember his face, but there's no way I could ever forget the fake breasts. Love, who uses a stage name, told The Times of her online interactions with Brian Noem. Earlier this week, the Daily Mail published photos of Byron, okay, I don't know why I keep messing it up, Byron Noem. Earlier this week, the Daily Mail published photographs of Byron, Kristi's husband of 34 years. 34 years he been married, folks. This is what's really going on. That's why the women are online talking about being married and the men are quiet as hell. Well, this is what's happening. Seemingly wearing a large pair of fake breasts under a tight top and a pair of hot pants. In reality, for this picture you all see on your screen here now, I don't know how in the world the names got messed up. It's Byron Noem. But in any case, he's actually got like balloons up under there is what they were reporting. They were reporting that those are balloons and that was his thing. So he wants to talk to chicks, to females, but then he wants to be one. It's just real odd. So, yeah, but he really had like balloons up under there. And that was his thing. And normal sized breasts were not enough. He has a fetish. He has a kink where they have to be absurdly large. That's his whole thing, is the breasts he wants to have to be absurdly large. He's not happy enough just looking at somebody else. He wants to be the female with the outrageously large breasts, but talk to females with large breasts. So D cups are not enough for him. He wants like Z cups. I mean, literally Z cups. Yeah, these are the family values people, y'all. These are the family values people. No wonder they do that so much, because look what they're covering up. It goes on to say here that the website claimed that Byron had chatted online with women, plural, who were part of the bimbofication scene, a role-playing kink centered around exaggerated hypersexual femininity. Well, ain't this interesting? Because where are all the females talking about being exploited?
Oh, please.
Hey, y'all, where are all the females who claim they're being exploited and they don't like being exploited and they don't like being objectified? And yet they are saying, sign me up to the first website thinking they'll objectify the hell out of me. So, yeah, y'all, by the way, what happened to that? What happened to the chicks out here who want to get we don't want to be objectified, and why are men always sexualizing us? And meanwhile, the females are like, man, y'all better open this damn door so I can get objectified. I got rent to pay. We'll make a whole new fetish scene. So, yeah, it's the women pushing this stuff. All right. Okay. The photographs sent a shockwave around Washington, coming weeks after the firing of Kristi as Homeland Security Chief. President Trump even addressed the Fuhrer on Wednesday, telling reporters, quote, "I don't know anything about it. That's too bad, but I just know nothing about it." Of course he knows about it. That's why he got rid of her. Security experts suggested the existence of such photographs could have made his wife subject to potential blackmail threats. You think? Quote, "It's astounding that somebody whose spouse is at the level has that kind of bad judgment," Jack Barsky, a U.S. counterintelligence expert, said. Byron Noem denied that his alleged activities put his wife at risk of blackmail in a statement to the Mail. The saga also raised questions over the ethics of publishing personal photographs of a private citizen. Quote, "I'm really big on keeping clients' information private, but he's already been exposed and it's the hypocrisy of their politics," Love, age 28, said on Wednesday of the Trump administration official and her Republican husband. So folks, just understand what this is really all about. When they want to sit up here and tell you when these people sit up here and want to criminalize information, they want to criminalize all this stuff out here. Yeah, that's because they want to cover up every damn thing they're doing. They want to cover up what they're doing. Don't ever mistake why they want to sit up here and have a surveillance state. Don't ever mistake why it is they want to ban pornography or whatever. Do not be silly about what they really want to do here. They want to put a stranglehold on the dissemination of information that could scandalize them. So they don't want freedom of information. They want freedom from information. Just remember that. It says here that Love, who is a performer in what is known as online as femdom or female domination, alleged that Byron Noem, 56, would perform for her on the website Cam Soda, where she said he liked to play a submissive role. Quote, "He would try to talk more feminine. His kink was yoga pants," she said. "He wanted to be the star of the show and really show off. I would hype him up." Yeah, there you go. Getting paid $25 a minute to just sit there and egg him on. Love described Noem as an, quote, "extremely needy client, needing a lot of praise and feedback." Quote, "He would really guide the show rather than let me do my femdom thing for him." She specifically remembered the fake breasts he wore during their webcam encounters. Quote, "I've never seen another client have them," she said, "ever." Okay, well, that goes for a lot of us. Love said they connected on the site. Noem, who manages an insurance agency in South Dakota, was said to pay women up to $25 a minute to talk dirty with him. He did say he was, quote, "He did say he was married, but didn't say anything notable about his wife. But I shut that down. I didn't want to talk about it," Love said. "We mainly chatted in small talk. He would say, 'Today wasn't the best, but I'm excited for right now.'" So, yeah, Kristi wasn't handling a business, although under these circumstances, I don't know if she could handle the business. So, but yeah, that's what happened here. Love claimed Noem paid for her webcam services between 10 and 15 times over an 18-month to 2-year period. "The last time was about 6 months ago, and then I didn't hear from him again," she said. "I wondered what had happened to him, but clients come and go." She said she never judged her clients' preferences, but saw hypocrisy in a conservative Christian father of 3 who was married to a Trump official, allegedly engaging in such behavior when the administration promotes certain values. What values does Donald Trump promote other than greed? The Noems were contacted for comment. You all know where that's going to go here. So, yeah, that's the article from the Times. And, yeah, This is how great marriage is going today. This is how wonderful it's going today between OnlyFans and all these other kink sites. This is what's really happening. As these folks are sitting here making it their job to see how well they can get over on you, this is what's happening. They're walking off into agreements, and then they are unable to get out of it, and then it's like it's cheaper to keep her, yeah, but she ain't really making it worth your while, so what do? And this is where cats at today. They got into these marriages figuring if she's cute, well, the sex will take care of itself, and I'll be all right. And then you get there and it's like, oh man, she can change the rules. Now the state is going to demand that you keep being protector and provider, but the state is not going to demand that she continue doing what she was doing when you all got married, and she can leave and still get protection and provision to an extent. So yeah, man, this is how bad it is out here today. But I want to go a little bit further here before I open up the phone lines. I want to go a little bit further here. I want to go a little bit further because I want you all to take a look and see who she is here. This is the IG page for her. Let me go ahead and blow this up a little bit so you all can see exactly who this is. She's got 149,000 followers now, so she hasn't gotten a big bump of things. But I did want to show you some of what she likes to post. So she did post sitting up here talking about the article, talking about him getting put out there. So she been, clout chasing. All right, this is the kind of stuff she's posting. Lamborghini Urus. So she's posting a Lamborghini. Yeah, so smaller chicks like to keep something bigger next to them because she knows she's going to win. So it's big chicks know they don't miss her. So yeah, this is what she's promoting. Yeah, all right. Although it gets worse than this. Let me go ahead and show y'all the other one. Remember this picture with the Urus? Okay, so she posted here. She posts loving being in Paris, March 10th. I'm doing this for a reason, just to certify this is how this kind of stuff works. This is how this kind of stuff works. Okay, this picture is dated March 16th. This one is dated March 10th. I'm doing this for a reason. You come down here, you see this video. Well, this is dated January 28th. Oh, and look, there's Shamu sitting on top of the Urus, voiding their warranty.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, they got old girls sitting up there on top of the Urus, voiding their warranty. Yes. Yeah, so the smaller one is out here in the front, and yeah, that's going. I'm surprised the damn roof didn't cave in. Yeah, just all right. But from January, they took these pictures in January and then repost them again, in halfway through March. So the money ain't really coming like that. I mean, they get dudes to fly them out places because, if he's willing to pay $25 a minute, he's damn sure willing to pay for a plane ticket. And so, yeah, in your 20s, people will ask you when you're getting a real job. It is very important. Well, you see what's saying there. It's very important that you stick with your fake job. Notice, though, that she said something similar here on the Urus one. Get a real job. Why would I want to stop getting paid to do this with my besties? Fellas, this is what it is to be in your 20s. If you're a female who doesn't look disgusting in your 20s, from Shannon Sharp to other folk there, there's gifts, all kinds of things happening. You damn right Leslie Jones is upset.
And deal with it, nigga.
You damn right Leslie Jones is mad. You damn right she's having a conniption about that. She knows what it could have been like. All she can think about is what she missed out on. All she can think about is what she missed out on. So these chicks, man, they got dudes, randos, man, in their 20s today. This is how bad the situation's got. They got randos paying for them to go traveling. They got randos who'll do this. And let me be careful because I don't want her doing something that could get me in trouble on YouTube. But she's not paying for this. And what I'm saying is you ain't even got to be a hard body. You don't even have to be a hard body. You don't have to be a fitness influencer. There's dudes out there. If you're in your 20s and you are not the typical, if you're in your 20s and not the typical, hey, dudes are throwing bags. Now, you know this over here. Okay, she's sitting in a damn Tesla over here. Now, for that one, she's sitting in a Tesla back in October. But then, out of nowhere, she's showing up with an Urus. Now, I'm not convinced the Urus is hers. I don't believe that. But the point is, what I am saying is, dudes is doing enough out here. Dudes are doing enough. The face of a girl who just got tipped 100,000 tokens while out at the bar. They just throwing it because they can. So this is the life of a female in her 20s today if she ain't toe up from the flow up. She doesn't have to be great. She just has to be better than the trash. Oh, look, she's advertising her cam soda because men objectify everything. I'm hoping they'll bring this up here. 18-year-old me who turned on her webcam to get out of her hometown and make enough to eat would be so proud of where we are now. So please understand, women don't get the bag without men. Women know men is where the real bag is. There is no bag among females. There is no come up among females. There is no level up. There is no glow up there. All the extraordinary rewards are with the men. That's it. All the extraordinary rewards are with the men. All this other talk is bull jive. But the issue is so many males out here today are just so dog-ass desperate that they've made it their normal practice to just overpay for everything. Everything with them is overpayment. No fair market value because you got a bunch of dudes who just got themselves off in a jam. They're legally jammed up. So now they're just sitting up here, just begging. And this is what happens. Yeah, I said that. You don't have to be exceptional. But compared to the average 28-year-old today, it's not that she's so great. It's that the average 28-year-old is so bad. But then again, when they get in their 30s, it's really a wrap. So these men, they've gotten older. They're in their 40s and 50s, and they are just like, man, I'm sick of life on this end. Where the females have aged out and stopped trying, and it's just like, man, look here, just let me pay for, I can't take it no more. Let me pay for something. I can't take it anymore. I'm trapped. She got me over a barrel. The state's behind us. No. This is the state of the married man today. This is the state of the typical married man today, is a life of quiet frustration. And as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing warned that eventually it would be the men emulating and imitating the women. Imitating the women is what it's going to be. Well, that's where they are. That's where they are now. And Leslie was just giving you all just a precursor about where it's going. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't go over one more thing here, because there was another program, speaking of Shannon Sharp. And shout out to Shannon and them. They got the trains back on the track there. Things are going good. Things are going great. And he was spitting out some knowledge about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr., it looks like all the rumors and whatnot about his finances, it looks like there might be something to it. He's arranged a fight with Manny Pacquiao, but then he's trying to say that, wait a minute, it's an exhibition fight, and Pacquiao's folk are like, oh, well, no. We ain't fighting for no exhibition fight. That's not what we said. So now they're talking about Floyd may be in breach of contract, and they're saying that he took an advance against the fight.
Nigga, what?
And they're saying that he might have taken out an advance against the fight. So as soon as the contract got signed, taken out in advance. So yeah, man. He was doing too much. All them chicks, all them females, that if you're dumb enough to let them leech off of you and get their hooks into you, and you ain't concerned about preserving what you got, you're concerned about, what do I got to do to keep the hose rolling? Well, Shannon Sharp had a few things to say about that, and just to let you all know, I've tried to give you this insight years and years ago. Once again, you didn't hear this from anybody else anywhere else. I wanted to give you this insight years ago that, by the way, a lot of this stuff that you think the rich multimillionaires, even at the athlete level, because what's wealthy today is way above the athletes. The NFL team owners are wealthy. The NFL players are just rich. But Shannon has something to say about all that spending and what you spend it on. And I want y'all to hear the advice he gives and tell me if it sounds eerily familiar to something you've been hearing from me now going on a decade.
For you have to live that style, and that image has to match exactly what your name is.
But you see, once you start that, what you
got to keep it up.
Keep it up. Got to keep it up.
But it's impossible.
Hey, that's just like you starting off with that girl, you leave with money. You buying all kind of gifts from jump.
You show up with a Birkin. You show up with a go. So if you show up with a Birkin, where you go from there? What's higher than a Birkin?
Hey.
You better show up with a Coach. You better show up with a K-Spade. At least you can build.
Work your way up. Work your way up from there.
Yeah.
Damn!
Now, where have you all heard that one before? Where have y'all heard that before? Because that sounds very familiar to some specific advice that I've been talking about now for a decade. You sit up here and get fooled and bamboozled by these other people here. You trying to max out the credit cards, and what did I tell y'all? Man, you take her ass straight to Michael Kors. You take her ass straight to Tory Burch. If she has earned it, you do not go straight to the Fendi store. Straight to the Chanel store. The hell you do. Because by definition, you don't have any. You starting with a Birkin. It's where Shannon's like, where are you going from here? You need to start small and let her work her way up. You need to start small and let her work her way up. Okay, do I need to get Unique to give me a call here?
What? Damn!
I might have to get Unique to give me a call. I might have to do that. Unique, I might have to have you call me up here. It might come to that here in just a moment. We'll see how it goes. I'll think it over for a minute, but it might have to come to that here in just a minute. If we triggering people, if folks is getting triggered, it's like, wait a minute now. Hold on. If you're getting triggered, there might be a reason for it. Now, to the young men listening here, you see, we don't do speculation. No, baby, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. We don't do praxologies. Praxologies are for people who don't know anything. We do prescriptions, not praxologies. So, a decade ago, y'all saw me. It's going on a decade ago, and I talked to my man TK Kirkland, and he told y'all, it's like, man, look here, you get her the company car. You go get her ass a Toyota Camry. It's reliable, it's gas efficient. You don't go off and go get her some supercar. First of all, you handle the key fob, here you go. To the fellas who up on the game, we've known this forever. We've known this forever. You know what? Let me go ahead and post the link up in the chat room here. Let me go ahead and post up in the chat room. We're going to post up. I got folks making comments and things. And okay, they need to go ahead and just talk to the source. So I've gone ahead and pinned the Zoom link there. Let's go ahead and get at it. Let's get at it. I told these fellas going on a decade ago about the company car. And understand that what they gonna do when these females roll up, man, they want to test you to see how weak you are. So the first thing they gonna do is sit up here and try to tell you some outrageous number, because women are smart when they on the scheme. When women are on the scheme, they're smart. They know hit him with a large number and then see how close to that number he comes. See, females, because their survival depends on it, certainly their affluence depends on it, they go testing the market. They test the market to see how it goes. They test the market. They're not just talking to one man.
Nigga, what?
The biggest lie that you fellas believe is that a female's only talking to you. She's got a number of folk that she talking to, and she's checking to see who's gonna give her the best deal. That's why I said in a perfect world. In a perfect world, every female will have her sexual FICO score for you to take a look and see who gave her what. Every female is going to come to you claiming she got top-notch credit. Oh, I was dating ball players. We balling out. And then she hits you with a crazy-ass number. And she's checking to see how much you value her. So she doesn't expect to hit that number. She wants to see how close to that you're going to come. She wants to see if you're immediately going to shut it down or if you're going to start haggling. In the chat room, I need Unique and Tit Top to give me a call here. Let's go ahead and chop it up here about this. They wanted to make a few comments. You know what? Let's go ahead and address that. Let's go ahead and address that. Since I showed Shannon, I got some folks who want to make some comments about that. So let me go ahead and address that. We're not going to roast on them here. We're just going to have a teaching moment. But I need y'all to the front of the class. So the link is in the Zoom there. I need y'all to come to the front of the class. That's me, 2260. I'm so glad you said that as well. Let me go ahead and get you up on Zoom here. So I need y'all to the front of the class. My mods will go ahead and take care of that. This is interactive radio. So they made their comments. They were very eager to do that. Okay, now we're going to have our response for it. All right. In the chat room there, no comments for that. We don't need any. No, we don't get to comment anymore in the chat room now. You were instructed on what to do. So no more comments in the chat room. When you get on Zoom, you can ask or say any of your statements then that you want to do. You can make any statements then that you want to do right after you're on Zoom. Now, what you need to understand is that women are going to hit you with their ceiling. We are discussing power dynamics tonight, and Byron Noem got himself caught up because he didn't play the game. He let the game play him. He let the game play him. You see, a long time ago, and there were other YouTubers who used to use my quotation because they were like, damn, that's really good. But you see, I had to step away from that because I realized that people did not understand what that meant. It was being distorted and corrupted into something that I never intended for it to be. When I used to say that a man leads with his wallet, I knew what I meant. I just didn't understand how the rest of the world was misconstruing it. So fellas thought leading with their wallet means throw a bag up on the table and negotiate with the bag. And it's like, no. You are the bag. Your wallet is supposed to represent your accomplishments. So I adjusted the verbiage to lead with your accomplishments. Not showering money on a chick. She needs to value you, not your money. This is a teaching moment. This is a teaching moment. You see, when you have value, then you negotiate from your value. You don't negotiate from your bank account. That's a losing game because now you've turned it into a bidding war. A man cannot lead with throwing dollars because it becomes a bidding war. And you automatically lose because she wins if she can extract benefits from you. She wins right then, right there. Your job is to see how much it is worth to her, not how much it is worth to you. That's where the game gets messed up. But here's the problem. Most men today can't get up and walk away from the table. Most men today can't actually get up and walk away from the table. Most men can't actually get up and say no. They can't actually say, you know what, we're done here. So when they do get something halfway decent looking in front of him, he has to start bidding like his life is on the line because he doesn't get them to stop. They just scroll right by him. Most males today are betas and simps, and they're starving for female attention, much less companionship. So any female who stops to give him the time of day, he's immediately got to start bidding. He has to immediately start throwing money on the table. He's got to lead with that, and that's where you lose, because once you get into a bidding war, the only thing you can do is bid more because she wants to see where your ceiling is, not your floor, because she doesn't really care about you. You're the means to an end. So I introduce you fellas to the concept of the company car. And for those of you who are new to the business, you have never learned how these concepts actually work. Let me go ahead and take a moment here to go ahead and remind you about why it is that they work. Are you listening here, Leslie? The reason why these things here work, I'll go ahead and tell you all. I'm not guessing my way through this. 75% of luxury cars are leased. 75% of luxury cars are leased, particularly your German cars. Let me say that one more again. 75% of your luxury cars are leased, not bought. Now, as you all know, a lease is not permanent. A lease is on a fixed time schedule. You're basically paying for the depreciation of the car. At the end of that lease, you send the car back, and you can decide if you want to lease another one. Maybe they'll roll over your lease to make a contract for you to buy it. But the bottom line is that a lease is a temporary fixed set of time, usually 2 to 3 years. After that period of time, the car goes back. Jason, why are you going into this detail here? Because you see the females you're with, whether it's Brittany Renner or whether it's that chick you dating down there at Lowe's, both of them will take the car even if it's leased.
And deal with it, nigga.
They got you thinking that you have to go off here and go sit up here and dump your life savings into something. Of course she wants you to do that. She wants to extract maximum benefits out of you so that when she gets up and leaves, she's walking away with something. Well, guess what? Whether the car is leased or not does not make a difference to her. She'll be perfectly fine with a Urus that is leased. Fellas, well, when you realize that, how in the hell did you get yourself put into a trick bag where you're buying a car and putting in her name? How in the hell did you get put in that trick bag? You got put in that trick bag because you allowed her to set the terms of the discussion. You allowed her to tell you gotta buy her something. You don't have to buy her a damn thing. All she wants is access. So once you realize that that's what's really going on and that's what it's really about, and those are the true terms of engagement, well, now you're not getting played for a damn sucker. When she values you, she wants access. When she doesn't value you, she demands payment up front. Fellas, when females are hitting you up and they want cash payment up front, she's telling you, I don't value you. Let me grab whatever I can get so I can get your annoying ass out of my face, but I don't value you. Same thing when it comes to all this other stuff. You have too many men who are trying to figure out how they can finance attraction. And in the end, you're going to get fleeced, man. You're going to get fleeced. You're going to get took. You have a guy who should know better, but he doesn't. That's the other issue. He's been married to Kristi Noem most of his life. He doesn't have a lot of experience with other women. And as a result, a 28-year-old got over on him. 28-year-old. Diddy wouldn't have had this happen.
Damn!
They can go out here, they can yakety yak, they can do this, that, and the other. But they're not able to get anything more going than that. Now, the next thing I want to remind you of is that the other reason why he went gaga like this is because, let's just keep it real, he's kind of tired of giving. If you're going to be producing and providing an upper middle class life, are you really trying to do that for chicks in their late 40s or 50s or Leslie Jones older?
Nigga, please.
That's the whole thing about it. Please understand, Kristi Noem is 54 years old now. 54. How much harder do you expect him to work? What more do you expect him to do for a 54-year-old? It's going to be a brutal conversation I need to have here right quick. Got to have a brutal conversation here. Exactly how much work do you expect him to do? How hard is he supposed to work? How much effort is he supposed to put in for a 54-year-old? How much money is he supposed to put down? How much more upper competitiveness is he supposed to display for a 54-year-old? I need to be honest with the ladies here right quick now. It's like, yeah, you can get a fella when he's younger, you better, because once he gets out in the world and sees what he can actually accomplish, I don't know. A chick in her 20s reminds him of where he started at, and it reminds him what he was competing for. And a bunch of these married dudes, they get a little extra paper to throw around. When they throw it around, they don't throw it around for another 45-year-old or another 55-year-old. Let me say that again so that I can produce maximum emotional offense. When these fellas get a few extra paper to throw around, they don't go looking. The Byron Noems, he's 56 years old. He didn't go looking for a 54-year-old female to throw that extra paper at. He said, where this little young gal at? Hey, if I'm going to throw this money around, where's the little young gal? If I'm going to go dipping into the family savings, I'm going to get it for a little young gal. I'm going to get it for something worth my while. You think that his wife working in Washington, D.C., you think he didn't have hella access to 55-year-olds? It's like, what the hell is the return on investment for that? You want something going to make you feel like a young man again. You're going to want something that makes you feel competitive again. You want something that makes you feel like you're in your prime again. And a 54-year-old ain't it.
And deal with it.
It ain't it. I didn't say that he is stepping out. What I am saying is he could. If his paper is straight and if you are not on your game, he could. He could. Let me explain to you. Most married men are dummies. What? I said that. Most married men are dummies, and they realize it. I'm not beating up on you guys, but I mean, most of y'all, you have to lie your way through life. You're stuck up under a bunch of bills. You're stuck up under a bunch of debt. You signed a contract with a woman and a bank. And right now, you're just trying to make the best of it. You are subject to her whims. When she feels like being a dutiful wife, when she feels like being domestic, when she feels like being accommodating, you know, all those things that she did for the most part to get you to marry her and say, okay, you'll be the only chick I ever have. Yeah, you know, when she feels like doing it, you can have it. And when she doesn't feel like doing it, you're kind of just stuck with it. That's where you at. And that's where married men are. You're subject to her whims. If she feels like doing whatever it is that you want done, well, you can have it. And when she doesn't feel like doing it, well, you just have to sit there. Well, oh boy, can we work it out? You know what the great thing is about being single with your paper straight, single with no kids with your paper straight? You don't have to work a damn thing out.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's the great thing about being single with your paper straight. Fellas, if I'm telling the damn truth, give me the star emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 1,800 people in here live. Fellas, if I'm telling the truth, give me the star emoji in the chat room. You know what the great thing is about being single with no kids and no state contract telling you that you have to accommodate? You don't have to work things out. You don't have to ask them why they're being a fool. You don't have to ask them why they're acting an ass. You don't have to sit here and negotiate and discuss with them why they're being stupid. And she says, well, you know, I'm a female. I have a mood. Well, you know what? Your mood can carry your ass. Because if she was throwing moods at you and stuff when you two were dating, you wouldn't have married her. Once she gets you on paper, if you will, all of a sudden here comes the damn curveball. It's like, No, you know the great thing about not being on paper, you don't have to work out bull jive. You don't have to be forgiving. You don't have to be excusing. You don't have to work things out. You don't have to overlook and excuse unforgivable things. You don't have to do that. You don't have to wait until she decides to do something. You don't have to be subject, because that's slavery right there. The state demands that men keep giving benefits to somebody who stopped giving benefits to you. Well, that's slavery right there. Leslie Extra Wide Jones, that's slavery right there. So the great thing about it is not having to work things out, not having to compromise your manhood and your integrity because you're worried about a divorce, and you're worried about child support, and you're worried about where your kids are going to be, and are you going to be in your kids' life the way you really want to be? And are you going to have your kids in a broken home? Yeah, you see, that's the great thing about that. No, you don't marry your passport, silly. You marry your productivity.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's universal. Don't need no damn passport when you productive. A grown-ass man get it done wherever his feet touch ground. A passport is just another thing. If you're dependent on a passport, you're monosyllabic. Just saying. Some growing up to do, but you've come to the right place. We educate these things properly. Because, by the way, hoes are the same round the damn world, so any idiot telling you that a passport, we've said this so many times, any moron telling you that a passport is gonna get you somewhere. Like these females ain't on the damn take around the world. Like niggas ain't already been to South Asia, South America, South Africa. Like we've already covered this. Women are the same around the damn world. They over there breaking little weak betas over there in Thailand right now. Go to YouTube, fellas. All the jackasses talking about going to Thailand and going to Asia. Now you got a bunch of dudes putting up videos about the Philippines and about Thailand, talking about these hoes over here breaking us. We got took, man. They told us it'd be sweet coming over here. Them broads over there breaking them left and right now. And not to mention that the government is smart too. And I'm just going to put the government part to the side. The females are already on the damn game. Where you going with your passport? Saturn? Show me where you going where the females ain't all on the same thing. Where you going? Remember, I talked to a doctor in Africa here a couple of years ago talking about this chick who live in the straight bush. He got a chick living the straight bush talking about she wants a G-Wagon.
Oh, please.
Remember? He talking to a chick. He live in Africa, bush. He live in the city. She live in the bush. Talking about she wants a G-Wagon. Ain't got no roads to drive on, but she wants a G-Wagon. Where she's at, there aren't any streets and aren't any traffic lights, but she wants a G-Wagon. Where the hell you going? Driving around in circles. But she wants one. Y'all know what that means. OnlyFans, cam girl, white tourists. You know where this is going. So tell me, where are you going where there are these mythical females? This is a Western issue. This is a woman issue. Jackasses in the red pill and manosphere morons talking about Western culture. This is woman culture. No wonder folks keep getting took because your instructors are stupid. This is not Western culture. This is woman culture. Over there in Japan right now, the birth rate is dropping because the women are so damned disagreeable. What? And then you'll have some military moron call you up talking about the women in Japan are great. Nigga, you're a sex tourist. The Japanese men don't talk about Japanese women like that. You's a clown. The men in Thailand don't talk about Thai women like that. The men in the Philippines don't talk about Filipino women like that. It's only some jackass from Little Rock, Arkansas, just got off the damn plane looking like Kodak Black. Ooh, look at it over here. I'm in Japan. Hey, what y'all doing? Meanwhile, the Japanese men are running in the other direction. Korean men running in the other direction. Got somebody sitting up here talking silly. You know, they're properly educated over there. Those women know how to treat a man over there. Okay. Yeah, man, everybody's looking for a promised land. Ain't no damn promised land. Women are the same all around the damn world. Men got the same damn complaints around the world. You just have some places where it's not codified in law, but that's not preventing the females from being just as problematic. No, in some of these other places, it might not be codified in law, and it might not be as overt in the culture, but it's there. The Japanese men are complaining left and right. Korean men complaining left and right. All the other places complaining left and right. Once these chicks figured out there was an OnlyFans, they said, oh, well, I have a veto card now. If the fellas here don't want to do nothing, I can shake and jiggle and wiggle and get some extra coin, really from the same dudes. That's the crazy part. So let me get this straight. The chick you talking to is not cooperating with the man she's with. She's not accommodating the man she with. You and your homeboys got the same damn stories, and then they get on the OnlyFans and shake and jiggle, and you throwing money at somebody's girlfriend who is not accommodating him. So she can't get it from him because she's not being accommodating. She opens the OnlyFans and gets it from you. However, what is the incentive for her not to, man? Don't y'all see these old simplified married men are out here throwing grands? Don't y'all understand that? These married fellas out here are throwing grands. This little broad, if she works for a whole straight hour, which she doesn't, but let's just say that she did, $25 a minute, nigga, that's $1,500 an hour.
Nigga, what?
You got doctors who don't make that. You got, not consistently, you got lawyers who don't make that. What is the beneficial life skill that she possesses that's worth $25 a minute? And that tells you this is how much loneliness, isolation, and social awkwardness matters to these guys. Fellas, if you don't, listen to me. Listen to every word I'm about to say here, because this will help prevent you from ending up looking crazy. Because this guy looks straight crazy for the rest of his damn life. He gonna be looking like Anthony Weiner. Remember former Congressman Anthony Weiner? This internet gonna get you in all kinds of trouble. Fellas, I've warned the females forever here, going back to Leslie Jones. When a woman is not appealing to men and does not have a man as her protector and provider, she has to pay a man tax. What? As a woman, when you don't have a man that you can depend on, you have to pay a tax. You have to pay a man tax. You have to pay, if you don't have a man, you got to pay a man. When the plumbing breaks, you got to pay for a man. When your car breaks, you have to pay for a man. When your lawnmower breaks, you have to pay for a man. When you need any type of manual labor, and you will, you got to pay for a man. And you gonna pay a whole lot more than it would if you had a man. So when you're a female who is too damn difficult to deal with, baby, if you don't have a man, you got to pay for one. That means you have to pay a man tax. You get taxed because you don't have a man. So if you're going to get one of the rest of us to fill in for that position, oh, baby, you got to drop dollars. You got to drop dollars. I mean, don't get me wrong. You might find one little old simplified Cletus who'll let you use his pickup truck to move your damn refrigerator. I ain't talking about that nigga. I'm talking about somebody you actually need for something. And the only reason he's doing that is because you know full damn well it's like he think he gonna get some, and I'm gonna string him along until I get this damn refrigerator moved. Let me see how much more I can do that. But when you have an electrical issue at your house, Cletus can't take care of that for you. You need to have a new starter put on your car. Cletus can't do that for you. Yeah, fuel injectors went out. The fuel pump went out on your car. You got to drop the gas tank. Cletus wants them draws. He don't want it that bad. What? He don't want it that bad. So, yeah, you gonna have to pay for that. That is what happens when you do not have a man. Why do you not have one? Probably because you did some stupid stuff you shouldn't have done. Welcome to the tax. You gonna pay a man tax on account of the fact that you are so damn disagreeable and difficult that you do not have a man who will subsidize that for you. Here's your man tax. Why are women the poorest people in America? Oh, that's why. No, your homegirls ain't gonna fix nothing. They ain't gonna move nothing. Damn! Females will help each other move some potted plants. Females are not gonna help each other move heavy furniture. First thing they gonna say is, well, where my cousin? Where's a man? I am not throwing my back out for this heifer over here. You should have kept your last damn dude. Well, guess what, fellas? Just like the females have to pay a tax when they're not up to code, when they don't develop the necessary feminine skills, they don't have a man, so they end up having to pay a tax. Well, guess what, fellas? When you don't develop the proper masculine skills, when you don't develop a personality, when you don't develop the ability to not be socially awkward, when you don't develop that, you have to pay a girl tax. When you are not a man who has the masculine skill sets that attract women already and they can value you, and you still want to have little cute things, or at least cute enough for you, you got to pay a tax. And married dudes pay the highest taxes there are.
Damn!
I ain't dissing you. I ain't disrespecting you. I'm just saying, hey, this is a fact. It's a fact. You have to tolerate disagreeableness. You have to tolerate nonsense. Because she's like, nigga, I got leverage. But if you don't develop these other skills, it goes beyond that. Now you got to pay a tax. You got to pay some little 28-year-old hussy $25 a minute to talk to her. $25 a minute. How does that not emasculate you? And by the way, according to her, she made thousands off of him. I want to say she said 5,000. Which is just way too damn much to begin with. Folks, fellas, if you don't develop a personality, you're going to get taxed. You are going to get taxed. This is what's going to happen to you. The leverage is too damn out of whack. It's too out of whack for that. And the females are too damn smart. Okay, let me explain something that the goofies out there don't understand. Let me explain something that the bummy goofies out there don't get. We've all heard the news stories that say that the number one desired, quote, career for kids graduating from high school is being an online streamer. Now, we've all heard that statistic. Okay, but here's the part you didn't ask about. Streaming what? That's the question that none of these articles have delved into before tonight. I'm the only person to say it. I'm the only person to say it. What is it exactly they want to stream? Now, that's what folks aren't asking them. Hey, what exactly is it you want to stream? Well, now we're seeing a bunch of chicks out here. They having 18th birthday parties. Soon as I turn 18, I'm going to flip my shirt up. So she's on the camera while she's still legally 17 years old. That right there, I mean, you got girls 16 and 17 years old basically working the game. 16 and 17. Already addressing males as tricks. Already looking for dudes in their 40s and 50s. This is an uncomfortable conversation, but we need to have some true talk right quick since the other media is not going to have discussion with you. Folks, she's 16, 17 years old. She knows where the damn money is. She knows where the damn money is. They sitting around with folks educating them and grooming them and mentoring them. Oh, these are the fellas that got the bag. And they're 16 and 17 years old, listening to Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, plotting and scheming and strategizing about how they can get Byron Noem or somebody like him. And think about this for a few moments. You're telling her to go to work. Go to work where? At Wendy's? Go to work where? As a bank teller? Go to work where? At the local auto plant? Getting $25 an hour? After she just saw this chick talking about, I get $25 a minute. And then posing in front of Lamborghini Uruses? She ain't got to sell that. This damn thing sells itself. They already know about it. They already know. So that's what's really going on. So when they talk about being a streamer, before tonight, nobody ever asked the question, by the way, did you ever ask those high schoolers what exactly is it they plan to stream? And why they seem so confident that this will work? And then you see some other chick, and you're like, hell, I'm in better shape than she is when she's posing in front of an Urus. So I want me a Urus. All right, and then you know how the damn career arc goes. She gets on social media, and then next thing you know, they get in their DMs. And then next thing you know, an NBA player gonna show up. What? Or some druggy rapper. Or some drill rapper. She's gonna be thinking she got it made. And then next thing you know, things go downhill and she's you're yesterday's news. Now you're on the trash heap in the clearance bin, in the discount bin with Brittany Renner and April Jones. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick. All right, there you go. Hello, Unique.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
All right, she's here to educate me tonight, y'all. So I am listening adroitly.
Not really. I agree with you. When you said that you should not start a woman off directly at Fendi or Chanel, but I just feel like coming from Shannon Sharp, that was just the wrong person to deliver that message, because considering everything that just went on with him, it was just the wrong person to say that.
Okay. Everything that, quote, just went on with him. Why don't you clarify that for me?
You know the stuff that went on with the white girl that he had to pay out, the scandal he was caught up in. So I just feel like he doesn't have any room to speak about somebody mismanaging their money on women because he just basically did the same thing.
Okay.
So it was the right message, just the wrong messenger, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, first of all, you're not correct. I don't mean that you're slightly off. I mean, you're completely wrong. Let me explain exactly why. First of all, he was referring to Floyd Mayweather Jr., who at this point right now is out of money. Shannon Sharp ain't near about out of no money. So here's the issue. Shannon Sharp, let's just say that he had to pay old girl $10 million, and we don't know what it was. But let's just say that happened. Baby, that's not his last $10 million. That's Floyd Mayweather's last $10 million. He's probably below that now. That's not Shannon Sharp's last $10 million. He got another where that's coming from. So we're not even describing the same situation. So it would be different. What you're describing is a fellow who ain't got but 10 million. That's all he got. The reason they were running this damn scam is because he got way more than that. Way more. So that 10 million is not going to break him. Now, 10 million for most folks, that's going to be a lifetime of indentured servitude. That's not Shannon. So when you characterize it as that's some devastating experience on that level, that's just inaccurate. That's just not true. It just isn't. Leaving aside that we don't know how much it was or how much it wasn't. Baby, they were talking about a damn $100 million before. $50 to $100 million between that and was that the deal he was making there that they were talking about making before? Those were the numbers they were throwing. Okay, let me put this in perspective for you. Just for all the folk out there who don't know how this really works, let me take a moment to put this in perspective for y'all. All right, let's just say that he was going to negotiate a deal for, we'll split the difference between 50 and 100 million, say $80 million. How much is he going to have to pay in taxes on that $80 million? I'm asking you, ma'am. If he's going to get a deal for $80 million, how much you going to have to give up in taxes?
I'm not really sure. I would probably guesstimate. No, I'm just going to guesstimate. I would guesstimate maybe, I would say 80 million. I would say maybe 10 million at least, possibly. What? Probably more.
Nigga, what?
Okay, man, when you're in that tax bracket, you're in the highest tax bracket. So long story short, the government's going to try to get half of it.
Okay.
Once you cross over $10 million, the government's, well, actually $5 million, the government's coming for half. They're coming for half. So you have to have an accountant in order to structure this thing so we have deductions and stuff to knock that down. But if you just walk out there like I ain't got no deductions and I just got 80 million, the government, we live in what's called a progressive tax system, which means progressing taking your stuff. Oh, I'm so glad you got that 80. Let me get that 40. So, ma'am, you would have to unass at least 30 million, at least, and possibly 40. Does that put that 10 million or even 20 million into perspective for you? These are the types of numbers that Shannon Sharp, Joe Rogan, Joe Budden, you get the point. Those are the numbers they dealing with right there. And we talking about yearly. And that was just the one he was looking at because based on the value he's already acquired on his own, those are the numbers they were talking about. So that's what I'm saying. Does that put that a little bit more in perspective for you? He got to unask that. That's what he pays in taxes. For you, that's the lottery for life. Okay, I understand. Baby, that's what he pays in taxes. So put it in that perspective. Now, would you like to do that? Not necessarily, oh yeah, one more thing, he can probably write that off. What? Damn! By the way.
So why wasn't Floyd able to do that when he was tricking off on women?
Because Floyd spent everything pre-tax and post-tax. He was throwing money all over the place, just like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said that. He said, I bought everything I wanted for myself. The only thing you do now is buy stuff for other people. He had bought everything he wanted for himself. Big houses, big cars, clothes. Now he's buying big houses, big cars, and clothes for other folk. You got a girlfriend. Hey, want a mansion? I mean, it was like that. Want a Range Rover? It was like that. So things that people should have had to work for or that never should have been done in the first place. The money becomes worthless to you mentally. It loses its value mentally. It loses its proportion until eventually, you just start throwing it around. And that's fine if you continue to make that income. They continued doing it after the income was gone. Floyd Mayweather stopped boxing, but he didn't stop spending. So if you got $100 million from this Pacquiao fight, well, yeah, you can go below $30 million. I wouldn't recommend it. But, okay, I guess if you're going to keep having $100 million fights every year, well, yeah, then I suppose that $30 million will not annihilate you if you're going to keep doing that. And then he says, I'm retiring. Well, if you're going to retire, that means you're going to stop spending, right? Not really. I mean, just a few weeks ago, he's sitting up here done run back to one of his exes, one of them hoes who tried to sick them people on him. Okay, Shannon didn't do that. Shannon did not do that. Floyd's sitting up here doing that. That tells you what he prioritizes. He prioritizes female company. He knows throwing money. He's got females who money gets their attention. Well, that's their basis to deal with you, not you as a person. What are we here to get? Okay, that means you have to spend. When I haven't seen any pictures of Shannon Sharpe on a boat. I've seen pictures of him at the gym. I've seen pictures of him at games because that's his profession. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen Shannon on the boat. This matters. I just explained this to y'all. When you all see a boat, that's a different thing. Boats have to be docked at marinas. You have marina fees. If you're in Miami, we talking about tens of thousands. Boats have to be maintained. Whether you use the boat or don't, you're periodically going to have to take it out so get the barnacles off of it and clean it and everything else and make sure it's not wearing away. So that's even if you don't use it. So it's cute to show pictures on these yachts. Yacht life is hella expensive. And then I'm seeing Floyd Mayweather on a yacht. And I'm knowing right there, dude, that's got to be costing you $1 million a year or so. Gotta be. Then I see somebody with an airplane, not even a jet, just an airplane. I'm like, okay, there goes another $500,000 a year. Right there. If you got a jet, now we talking $4-5 million a year. Even if you barely use it. Just to upkeep it. FAA regulations. That's the life we talking about. Which is okay if your income justifies it. You've retired. Have you put money into investments to pay for all of this since you will not be making it off your labor anymore? Are you going to make up for that, compensate for that lack of income through investments or something? Or are you just drawing down your earnings? You got a bank account with your earnings and you're just basically drawing that down. And we now know what he was doing. He's not the only one. Don't you know a red bone will sit up here and bankrupt you?
And deal with it, nigga.
No offense. She gonna get no feelings here in a minute, y'all. No offense. She's like, nigga, you taking shots at me? No offense. No offense. But a red bone will bankrupt you. You get one of these, especially if you one of these guys who got an eye for light-skinned chicks like that. These red bones know that, so they'll break you. She goes straight for the top, especially if she's already dated you before and knows your finances. Well, now she's gonna start pressing you because she's like, she knows where the bones are buried. Okay, well, I got to get a Chanel. I got to get a Louis. We got to go to Turks and Caicos. Because that's the only way she answers the phone for you. If you're not trying to go somewhere and do something, that's another thing. You know that females play that little game. Fellas, I want y'all to recognize something. Females play the game of, I don't want to stay at home. Well, yeah, they know they can't fleece you for no money sitting at home. So they always, quote, want to be going somewhere. Where are we going? I want to go out. I want to go on vacation. I want to go to the mall. I don't want to be sitting around the house. Yeah, because there's nothing for her to spend, no way for you to spend money on her sitting around the house. Women pick this up in high school. Well, I say females pick it up in high school. When they graduate, they already know, yeah, don't be sitting still because he can't spend no money if you're sitting at home. So, but if you're going somewhere, that'll necessitate spending money. So if he wants to spend time with you, where are we going? And it becomes that. Well, for Floyd, where are we going? We need to go to Miami. We need to go to Martha's Vineyard. We need to go to Jamaica. And it becomes that. Now you got more than one of them. And Floyd was always bragging about having more than one female. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Floyd, were you running the game or was the game running you? At what point did those chicks start contributing? They never did. You buying cars and clothes and trips. And I need y'all to understand something. It sounds simple, but it's not. So first we deal with the tax situation. Then you got a boat. Then you got a plane. Then we realize you've got multiple Rolls Royces. Multiple exotic cars, more than one house. That's hundreds of millions of dollars right there. Right there. And the problem is you go buy some $30 million house. Well, that's going to be at least $2 or $3 million a year in maintenance. You need groundskeepers, multiple maids. When you start having plumbing issues, it's like a department store, not a house. The square footage is more akin to a Walmart than to the 1,600 square foot house most of you are in. So do you see what the difference is now? Now we got to pay for insurance for all these cars because you just like having them around. It's like, okay, this is running up a tab every year and you have to keep paying this tab every year. And you've, quote, retired and you didn't put any money into investments to continue making money so you can keep all this stuff you bought. Now, add your ego to it. And that's the last ingredient, and I know about that one. Add your ego to it. Where you know that the ship is going down and 50 Cent's out there making fun of you and stuff, and you don't want to tell people how bad it is. Because, yeah, it really is that bad, but everybody's going to mock you if you admit to it being this bad. So, and you don't want to talk to anybody because you're scared they're going to sit up here and start gossiping and disclosing it. So you end up doing nothing. Well, if I'll just be quiet, this will go away. Okay, but you got habits. Broads is one of them habits. So do you see now you kind of just sit still while the Titanic sinks? You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to tell anybody because you're scared they're going to go ahead and snitch you out. And your family's asking everything. I know, I got this. Don't worry, I got it. And it's okay. You said you got it. Y'all go check the last time Floyd had a fight. Go check the last time he had a fight, folks. And now, right now, it's a perilous situation. So that was what happened. And that is quantitatively different than with Shannon. Now, if Shannon had a string of those chicks, that certainly would be bad judgment. Absolutely. You got better places to get. I can show you better write-offs than that. I can show you better write-offs than some skank over here. However, the difference between Floyd and Shannon is Shannon has no intention of quitting working. He done told you that. Shannon said he's going to keep doing what he's doing so long as the good Lord let him. And I posted those things to, obviously you didn't look, but I posted those things on the post page here on YouTube so y'all can see that. Shannon is still mobbed up with Netflix. What? Damn! Baby, Shannon ain't playing no damn games. He did it. He's worked at ESPN. He knows what they're looking for. Hey, did you get that little situation settled? Yes, I did. Okay, well, we're going to let the heat get off of that. We'll roll you back in here in a minute when we get something. I knew it was back on and popping when I saw the thing with Netflix. But then when he brought Stephen A. Smith back on, and Stephen A. was like, yeah, brother, I've been talking to you the whole time. Shannon confirmed that we've been speaking the whole time. Stephen A. been here for me through everything. Oh, baby, Shannon can go back anytime he wants to. I promise you right now, the only thing he's doing is trying to get his stock up so that when he go back, it's going to be at least $100 million to get him. And it's probably going to be more than that because remember, they just gave Charlemagne that. Was it 100 or 200 million? They just gave Charlemagne them numbers. What you think Shannon Sharp looking to get? And he got a crew with him too now? Chad Ochocinco and the other dude? No, Shannon is looking to put his own thing together and he's looking to hit 9 figures. All he's doing right now is getting his stock up. He's going to have everybody who was there before is behind him. He got a bigger crew. His numbers will stay good. You saw what his numbers look like on YouTube when the Super Bowl happened. So when these big sporting events occur, people come to him to get his perspective. And he's still rocking with Stephen A. So he got the man on the inside. I mean, that's the dude. He got him on the inside. Oh, no. No. Shannon can go back anytime he wants to. He wants to go back from a position of strength. He wants his own production company, which he's got. He wants his own intellectual properties, which he has. And he wants to license it to them. He doesn't want to go back and be their employee. He wants to license it to them. Baby, do you understand what that really means? All the rest of these folk talking about this other stuff. He's talking about, I promise you, Shannon's going to be looking into licensing what he does. It may have a different name when it gets over to them, but they'll be dealing with his production company. He'll be licensing it. Yeah. $20 million. What Rick Ross say? $20 million, baby, that's my water bill. Please, baby, $20 million. Shannon going to spend it on Uber Eats. He's like, are you kidding me? That's not even half my taxes. It really ain't. So if I saw a pattern that'd be different. For the rest of y'all, I want to put that in perspective for you, what that really means. I want to put that in perspective. Now, last but not least is the thing that most other folk thought I was going to start with, but I didn't. Which is to say that, by the way, you're still incorrect because Shannon is not telling you that was the right thing. Shannon can speak because, in the words of Al Snow, he has a wealth of experience, both positive and negative. And way before this, Shannon already told y'all when he had his baby mama and he was spending money and convertibles. I didn't keep playing the rest of this, but he was talking about the convertibles and the cars and stuff. He was talking about, I drive a 15-year-old Range Rover. Long as it don't put me down on the side of the road, I'm good. Where'd you go, Jacqueline? Get back here, Jacqueline. Anyway, baby, he's already done all that. He been did that. When he was a Denver Bronco, he did that. And he's never made any bones about that. So the difference for him is that he understood when he was going to come back that he wasn't going to come back as a player. And for Skip Bayless talking trash or whatever about Shannon not being a Hall of Fame player or, not being the greatest running back ever or whatever. And Shannon's like, I've never said I was that. I've never said that or never implied that. Okay, but take a look at what he's done. Most of NFL players ain't got a tenth of what he got now. Because he at least understood my playing career is going to be over. I need to be able to do something that doesn't require running up and down the field. And that's what he focused on. So yeah, I don't have to be the greatest running back ever. I'm going to be the greatest commentator running back ever. And that's where he at now. He gets paid to commentate on running backs. He doesn't have to be one. And he's been doing that for years. That was his game plan. Floyd Mayweather makes money so long as he wins. If Floyd Mayweather loses his fight to Pacquiao, that's everything. The money, the legacy, whole 9 yards. That's everything. Shannon is not subject to that. And that was his plan. He didn't end up here by accident. It's a great thing that worked out because sometimes commentating doesn't work out. It worked out for Shannon. So he didn't end up here accidentally. And he has a wealth of experience, both positive and negative. So why would I don't, I'm, you know me, I'm a firm believer. I can't listen to somebody who hasn't lived it and doesn't know why they're doing what they're doing. Shannon's real mistake here was he was so thirsty for her being in her 20s, he didn't get that NDA in effect. That was the only real mistake he made, was overlooking the NDA, was dismissing the NDA part. Because that's your red flag right there. When they tell you what they ain't going to do, oh, it's like, you got to go. You don't get to, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. This is not a democracy. When that happened, he should have hit the brakes. Other than that, everything was fine. Because do you think she's the only one? Of course she isn't. There's a bunch of them. The other problem here is that she was stupid. That's the other thing. Baby, that man's going to be looking at hundreds of millions and you're going to be on the outside. You all think she's going to spend it wisely?
Nigga, what?
Not at all.
How many dummies out there think she's going to spend it wisely? Let me tell you what happened to y'all think Brittany Renner and the rest of these Instagram chicks are the only ones who run through hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions? You think they're the only ones? She's going to go off. All of her friends know. Do you think her friends are any better than her? You think they're any different from her? You think her homeboys and homegirls back in Russia are any different from her? Y'all think they're one bit different? Now they know she got a bag? Oh, no, her phone's blowing up and they talking to her and this, that, and the other. Hey, boo, and come on through. And she's going to do what she's been doing. And in 10 years, we'll check up with her and it'll be the same story it always is. It'll be the same thing. Same thing. Because she's a rat and she's a snake. And the only thing she can do is snake stuff. She doesn't build anything. And that's the last. She better enjoy it because that'll be the last time she's ever going to see it. That's the last time she'll ever see it. And even if she holds on to it by some miracle, she's going to be hounded till the day she dies about it. Everybody around her is going to be at her about it. Her face is out there so everybody knows who she is. So where is she going to go now? It doesn't work that way. If you want privacy, privacy costs. You want a secluded life in a gated community? Oh, well, welcome to Shannon's world. Oh, baby, you're going to run through that 10 million quick. Because remember, for those of you, even if let's just say she got 20 million, she's not going to get to keep it. Half of that's going to go to the lawyer. What? Damn! That Tony Busby dude, that's all he does is these kind of scam lawsuits. That's all Tony does. So half of that going to go to him. So even if it was the high number of 20, which I don't think it was, but even if it was, he going to get half of it off top. She gets left with 10. Oh, here come Uncle Sam. Let me get that 5. Oh, family, friends, maintenance. Oh, hell. Down to 2. Y'all remember when TLC did the math on this stuff? It's like, oh, this goes downhill quick. This goes downhill quick. Did you buy an expensive house? Property taxes. All right. What we going to do? So it goes downhill quick. It's not going to be nearly as sweet as folks want to fantasize about. It really, really isn't. Once you get into the 8-figure territory, baby, you got to keep working. You got to keep working just to keep up. You have to. So Shannon's situation is not Floyd's. It isn't. For one reason. Just like Steve Harvey. You know what I think of Steve Harvey. But I gotta give it to Steve. Steve's a hard-working nigga. Steve works. He stay in something. He stay keeping the bag moving. His character might not be together, but Steve stay working.
That's true. Do you think that Floyd has learned his lesson, though? So no. Say that...
Floyd ain't learned a damn thing. The problem with athletes is that they didn't have to earn what they got through intellect. They got what they got through a fluke of genetics. If Floyd Mayweather did not have his athletic ability, and nature gives you that, where would you be? So, no. Floyd's going to try to patch together some holes, but he's in his 40s now, baby. What he had was the result of the previous 2 decades. He doesn't have another 2 decades in him. He does not have another 2 decades in him to do this. So I don't wish anything bad on him, but I'm just saying this is very poor planning. You have a bunch of bad folks around you. He's been wine, woman, and songing all this time, and very little financial astuteness, very little. And eventually that catches up with you. And that's where Floyd is with 400 million. Where do you think that girl gonna be with 10? Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
Very true.
Thank you for giving us a call. Yeah, she didn't get too upset when I talk about the Red Bones thing. She didn't get too upset about that. So she's showing character. She's demonstrating character. All right, let me go ahead and jump over here. Hello, Jacqueline.
Hi. Sorry, I was...
Team Light Skin is jumping in on me tonight. Damn! Team Light Skin is unhappy with me tonight, y'all. Team Light Skin is coming in on me.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that.
They all brought their shiny white teeth, though, so I guess I'm good for that. I ain't got a bunch of jacked up teeth gnashing at me, so what's on your mind?
Oh, my God. Okay. Can you hear me?
Well, I hear you. What's on your mind?
So, you covered a whole lot tonight, and I wanted to go back to the power dynamics and just make a few comments, and I made some in the chat, but I think that especially for women, and it applies to men too, they should be trying to get their own bag. They should be striving towards, accomplishing something and not waiting for somebody else to throw them a bag. And as I was listening at the chat, I was wondering what happened to people openly communicating with each other, being honest with each other as far as their intentions. I mean, I might be naive, and I am proudly a person in their late 50s, and feel comfortable with what I want out of life. And I'm not judging. I'm not trying to judge people, but I do think you need to sit down and think about what you have to offer. First, starting with yourself. How are you going to be able to be in a relationship with someone if you don't start there or know who you are? So I wanted to share that. And
okay, well, let's go ahead and address that first.
Okay.
First of all, you live in the female culture today worldwide of entitlement. So the females are not thinking they have to earn anything. They sit there and proudly tell you that their contribution is they showed up. It doesn't matter if they're raggedy or whatever. Their contribution is that they showed up. So that's the culture and the attitude today.
So I missed a part of it. You went out.
Yeah, because she got a fire. She has one of those fire alarms right behind her, but at least it's not going off, so that's good. But her internet connection is a different matter because it looks like it keeps freezing up on you. But so this when y'all need a man with some Wi-Fi. What? So yeah, baby, you might want to get you a dude with some Wi-Fi because your thing keeps freezing up on you. So yeah, you might want to get some cable vision. But the bottom line is that folks want something for nothing. They see a lot of things that they can't afford, and they want to have that. And they're trying to figure out, how do I get it and do little or nothing to get it? Because they have this fantasy in their minds that folks on social media are getting a bunch of stuff and doing little or nothing to get it. So it feeds into this frenzy. Why can't I have that? Which is a part of human nature. It's an incorrect part of human nature, but it's there. So when you're coming to the table with the idea that I want to get something very valuable without giving that commensurate level of value in return, that's the conflict right there. And both males and females to an extent are trying to do that. The females are trying to do it more than the men, but you got both sides trying to do that to a certain degree.
Okay. I agree with that. And one more thing, I know we were talking about, I think, weight and body types and everything. I really want to emphasize that I think men should be just as conscious of their upkeep, quote unquote, as well. It's not all on the woman. Everyone has a responsibility, to treat their bodies right, eat healthily, stay at a healthy weight, if possible. That works both ways, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, we'll stop for a few moments here. Because first of all, let's be very, very clear, especially where the black women are concerned. The black women are leading at all the unhealthy indicators, period. You go through any store, you will see that the women are dramatically larger and wider than the men. Not a little bit. I got a bunch of pictures from around this nation, from sea to shining sea, that I can show you, and that I've started posting recently. What? So you all look for more of that. So let's just deal with that one there right there first. Certainly you do have an issue with that nationwide, absolutely, but the women really need to be very, very conscious about that, because they're doing a lot worse and it's affecting them a lot worse. That's the first thing. Now let's talk about that upkeep thing you just talked about also before. Now, once again, this is where we get our wires crossed. What makes you valuable as a woman is not what makes me valuable as a man. Dirt and oil under my fingernails makes me valuable. Yeah. Dirt and oil on my pants makes me valuable. Dirt and oil on yours does the opposite. So you see, I'm the workhorse, you're the show horse. Let's not get it twisted about what it is that makes us valuable. I'm the workhorse. You're the show horse. The worst nigga you ever met in your life was that pretty boy. Every female got one little pretty nigga, one pretty little mama's boy in your life that you're jaded and resentful about to this damn day, because he didn't really work and he didn't want to chip a nail or anything else, but he was summarily useless. So y'all didn't like that, but at the same time, you decided what makes them valuable. So please understand, you can have a guy who's a pretty dude, or you can have a guy who's useful. And when it's time to get work done, he immediately gets into it. And females want to sit up here and, once again, when they talk about entitlement, well, I want to have it both ways. I want to have a pretty boy who gets his hands dirty. Wait a minute. No. So what makes you valuable is diametrically different than what makes us valuable. So you have to do those things even more so, because furthermore, remember, you're supposed to be protected from those things. And by the way, y'all, she needs 2G or 3G because her internet's a mess. But in any case, anyway, what makes you pretty and valuable is different than what makes us pretty and valuable. It is two separate things, because you're not going to be expected to immediately jump in and get your hands dirty doing something. So when you talk about upkeep and maintenance, first of all, you're being protected and shielded in a way that men are not. We talk about females in the workplace. Let's cut the bull crap. Y'all ain't doing manual labor and building anything. You're working in nice little air-conditioned, carpeted environments. You are not throwing elbows where the men are. So what we expect from you is different, because you are shielded and protected.
Okay.
So your nails should look better. You ain't picked up no bags of cement. You haven't done that. You're not picking up a shovel. You're doing no manual labor. Hell yeah, your nails better look better.
Yeah.
You've been sitting at a desk all damn day. When you see something on fire, you like, oh, I hope the men hurry up and get here. When you see a water main bust, boy, I hope the men show up to bust up this street. You're not talking about where the females at. We's equal. No, you're not. You're not doing that. So I'm not telling you the guy needs to be slovenly. No, absolutely not. No. What I am saying, however, is that I'm never going to say that I expect the same thing from the men, because that would mean I expect us to be doing the same thing. We actually got work to do. And we have to be prepared to do that at any moment. And by prepared, I mean mentally.
Yes.
Mentally and emotionally. As a female, you need to be prepared at a moment's notice to help put some Band-Aids on the kid's boo-boo. That's what you have to be prepared for at a moment's notice. As a man, I got to be prepared at a moment's notice to change car tires, change starters, do carpentry work. Oh, the plumbing is busted. I don't get to sit there and, let me get my nail polish off, and, can I tie my hair in a bun? Nigga, the house is flooding. Okay, can I find my other pair of shoes over it? We don't get to do that. We get a phone call at 2 a.m. Hey, Dad, I've had a flat tire and the lug nuts are not coming off. Out you go. Right then, right there. Do you understand the mentality? Here's the thing. If that's your kid, you can't leave her on no damn roadside for no damn amount of time. There's too many damn Jeffrey Epsteins out here and they ain't letting them roam the damn countryside.
Thank you, Jason, for taking my call.
Yeah, because her internet service is Mickey Mouse, y'all. She needs a man. But in any case, when you got to get up and go get at it, you can't sit there being no pretty boy and, oh, how do I look? And hell no. You have to have a mindset that says, hey, I have to be out of this door within the next 60 seconds. I have to be out of this door, and whatever I'm wearing has to be serviceable in the next 60 seconds. On a regular work day, you have 60 minutes to get ready. There's an emergency, you have 60 seconds. And whatever you're wearing better be serviceable for however long it takes to resolve this issue. Now, that's what it means to be a man, and that starts between your ears. So if he doesn't have a mindset that says, hey, at a moment's notice, I got to drop whatever I'm doing and get at it. That's not something you can put into no damn pretty boy who values how he looks above and beyond everything else. I didn't say a guy gets to be slovenly, but what I'm saying is, first and foremost, as men, we judge you. Are you a workhorse or are you a show horse? When we look at other men, hold on, dude, are you a workhorse or are you a show horse? Because it's nice to go to a nice restaurant. It's cool to go on vacation, but life ain't no vacation for a real man. Let me say it again. Life is not a vacation for a real man. So as a female, when you start trying to project the privileges you have onto the builders who provide that privilege, that's where it becomes a problem. All right, let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom. Well, looky here. Well, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Kiki.
Hi, Jason Black. A lot of respect to you and your broadcast.
Oh, baby, is it safe?
Yeah, it is, but I do have a question.
Okay, if it's not safe, let me know. But if anytime it becomes unsafe, let me know. But go ahead.
Better than ever, but I appreciate that. So earlier you were talking about licensing, and I was wondering, with your own films and your broadcasts, have you ever considered licensing, or would you prefer to just do the independent route that you're doing right now?
Okay, well, I mean, if ever something like that ever came up, it would depend. I really would feel like for what I do, for example, and probably want to have a larger library of things done to begin that. For what Shannon is doing, Shannon understands the system. He's worked for those people, so it goes a little bit differently. But would I be open to it in the future? Well, sure, I'd be open to it. I don't think it's going to happen because what the stuff that I say is very contrary to what corporate interests would want to promote. So for that reason, I don't think that would ever happen. But if it ever came, sure, why wouldn't I?
Got it. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, you're already successful with your crowdfunding, and just from like our perspective, I mean, we see some reasons why you wouldn't, but I was in the chat and messaging that and figured to also in your broadcast, you talk about how people are not comfortable with just getting on the Zoom, and these days people are just always just messaging. So a lot that you say, I just really, I appreciate the humor in it and the truth.
Well, I'm glad Team Dark Skin called in here to balance things out, so all the red bones can not be so jealous now, so we appreciate that.
Yes, and I'll keep in touch because I would love to, I can maybe do a sound bite, maybe not with the swearing, but I could do some instrumentals that would be nice for your transitions and stuff for your songs, because I know you do commercials sometimes.
Well, not on this channel I don't, but on my other one, sure. As a matter of fact, somebody I think sent me another one here tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a nigga what in a little bit, but he says nigga all the time. But I do have a few of them. I'll be putting out announcing again because I do have some other sounds I want to have. So I'll be putting something out for it. But send me an email, and I'll keep you in mind. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, I'll have to have some more of that going on here. Let me see if we can get Jack up here on Zoom for me. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Jack up here on Zoom. All right, there you go, Jack. What's on your mind?
Hey, so I've been listening to the show for a while now, probably since around Corona, when Corona started.
Why does nigga look like Gucci Mane? Damn! I bet you hear that all the time. What do you say? When I grow up, I want to be Gucci Mane. All right, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but I'm not based in the US. However, I was able to move for work, which 10x my income. And
there you go.
Yeah, and I take a lot of your advice. And to be honest, I'm calling because I'm a bit stumped when I project things out into the future. I'm tired of losing, or at least feeling like that. And I'm not sure like what the next step is. I'm currently over 100K, and I think within probably the next 10 years, I may cap out at 150, if I'm lucky, 250. But I'm not sure what the next step is in terms of for men. And if you want to just get better in general, because it doesn't feel like it's real per se.
How old are you?
32 years old.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No children.
Okay. Are you married?
No, haven't been married.
Okay. Do you live in the States?
No, I don't live in the States.
Okay. You got a Jamaican accent?
No, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad, close enough. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you actually live there. Okay. What do you do for a living? What's your skill?
So I work in IT.
Okay, IT is an umbrella term. So what's your discipline?
Software engineering, to be specific.
Okay, so you actually do programming.
Yeah.
Okay, what languages do you program in?
I've done it all, to be honest.
Okay, that's not. Let's try the second time. What languages do you program in?
Primarily JavaScript.
Primarily JavaScript.
Yeah.
Okay.
My career has been interesting, to say the least. So I started off in front end. That's where the JavaScript came from. I did then transition into back end with PHP, Python.
Well, there's a number of different things you probably want to look into that there. I'll just keep it short in this regard. I've got the IT workshop. I got one I did here on YouTube. I have another one I did on Patreon, which is much more expensive because there's only so much time I can commit to those things. If you're not a member of a Patreon, you probably do want to be, because I've got IT folk over there that I connect you with directly, which I'm not going to do here on YouTube because they're not on Patreon. But I do have folk over there in particular, and specifically they listen in. We're there every weekend. And basically, just to be totally honest with you there, I just find out where your disciplines are, where you want to be, and then I hand you off to one of them. And then they will deal with you personally after that. Right, so if that's what you want, the link is in the description of the video. You can definitely check in with us here tomorrow, and we can go a lot further in depth with that. But the bottom line here, though, is that you're programming in JavaScript. That's great. That's cool. Sometimes they want to look at ITs for cybersecurities, Linux, or whatever, because it depends on what direction you want to go in. If you're doing computer programming, that's cool, but it's going to be kind of limited where we're going, to be totally honest. So it's great for the websites. That's great for internet. It really is, but it's going to be limited because a lot of IT is really focused on security now.
Okay, but it's not necessarily in terms of like career advice, because I think I'm capped out on or pretty close to capping out on salary per se, but just more like life advice.
Actually, you're not.
No?
No, sir. Actually, you're not.
In the Caribbean?
I'm pretty sure in Trinidad and Tobago you're doing on fine, but here's the real question.
I don't live there.
Okay, didn't he just say that? Okay, where do you live at?
From Trinidad and Tobago.
Where do you currently live, sir?
In the Cayman Islands.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now you have to stay there now. Okay, you're in the Cayman Islands. All right, the bottom line is I'm sure it's a great, wonderful spot. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth there. Absolutely. Wonderful. Nice. However, that's where you are right now. In 5 or 7 years, you may feel differently, especially when there are other opportunities. So you can't gauge just on where you're at 32. You're just now hitting your stride at 32. In the next 5 or 6 years, you will have different opportunities in different places. While you do have a skill set that works over the internet and is computer-based, that does not necessarily mean that you will be able to stay in that geographic location to take advantage of those opportunities. So you need to be prepared to leave or go somewhere else. $150,000 a year for a single man with no children is certainly not struggling. Absolutely not. Well, even for here in the Caribbean, that's certainly not struggling. No problem at all. However, if you have to go to London, now what? If you have to go to New York or LA or Miami, now what? If the employer you have now no longer needs you where you're working to keep the same income you got, now what? Well, I'll just see if I can figure out a way to do this remotely. Do you realize they're trying to kill as many remote jobs as they can? So IT on one end, get rid of the remote on the other. So I wouldn't necessarily rely on that either. So I would never tell a young man to be married or attached to the geographic location that he is in. I would never say that. Life comes at you. You do not know what's going to happen. You need to be prepared to leave, go somewhere else, anywhere else. Maybe it doesn't happen to you. Okay. But the other thing is, what you're saying, you topped out on your income. Well, I guess in the Cayman Islands, you probably did. However, I wonder what you would get in New York or Delaware or New Jersey or San Francisco. Because most of them cats are not getting 150, they're getting much more than that. Now, if you're just like, screw it, I'm 150, I'm doing good. I mean, all right. I just think we're in an era of hyperinflation. I think we have a complete damn lunatic in the White House who is unconcerned about tanking the global economy. And I think that everybody should try to puff up as much as they can. And quite frankly, 150 is working class in New York City. And I'd want you all to be prepared for whatever happens. So I would never tell anybody to be happy at that point, to be totally honest. I just wouldn't. Unless you plan on staying in the Cayman Islands for the rest of your life. And you can guarantee me that your current employer will keep you for the rest of your life. If you can guarantee those two things, then I guess the only thing you really need to do is just put your money in an IRA or a 401k or something. And I would say kick it on the beach, you're already there. So, I mean, that's an option for you too. Once again, I'm going to have to be short here because he's really asking me life questions, people. What he's not saying, but he's saying it indirectly. He really wants to know what he wants to do with his life, is what he wants to do. Because he's not asking me about career. He really wants to know, well, what do I do beyond this? And that's a very large, very expansive question. Because I have to ask you a lot more questions in particular. I really do think this is better suited for Patreon. Not because I don't want to answer it, but this is going to be a very expansive question here. Because you're not in the States. You're 32. You started off pretty good here. This would be a much more in-depth conversation than I can have here.
Fair enough.
And besides, you got enough for it. So if you want to, check in with us here tomorrow and I'll go in depth with you. And we'll find out exactly where you're really going.
All right, well, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks again.
Thank you for giving us a call. Yeah, like I say, it's just, you're 32, like I told you all, you're just hitting your stride for black men. You get in your 30s, you have a career, it's not struggling, you don't have any kids, you got all your options in front of you. Now he wants to start asking about who's the woman going to be, where am I going to be living at? What should the lifestyle be? Because now you're getting into a situation where you have to start deciding what kind of life you're going to live. What kind of life you're going to live, what kind of lifestyle you're going to live. Now you're getting to a point where you're asking those questions. And, yes, you want to be asking those questions sooner rather than later. If you get in a position to go ahead and do that, sure, go ahead and ask those questions sooner rather than later. Just be prepared for it. Just be prepared for it. By the way, I don't know what happened here. A bunch of the chicks that I had seen around here like 5 years ago or whatever, now they're starting to pop up again. What? I see you. Yeah, they was hanging out here about 4 or 5 years ago during the pandemic. Y'all know what happened. They got with them dudes. They got booed up for a minute. And old boy was treating for a little bit there, and then next thing you know, things went south, and it whittled on out and withered on down, and now these chicks are back out here on the market. So they're coming back and They coming back selling on through here, so I ain't mad at you. I just want you to know I see you. Unc ain't mad about it. I see some of them out here doing some silly stuff, though. I'm not going to say any names, but some of them are out here doing some silly things. So it's just, desperation never looks good. It never looks good. You think you're winning. It's just like, baby, you're flailing like a fish. You don't want to be doing that. So a reminder here, fellas, you got to understand, if you don't do things here right, you end up getting taxed. The married dudes are out here getting taxed, and for them, yeah, it is slavery. For the married fellas, it is slavery right now. For most of them are in a slave situation. They're in a slavery situation, and now they're having to pay all over the damn place. They got this woman they don't really want to be with no more, but they have to maintain the life so they can maintain appearances, because just like Floyd Mayweather, they don't want to have to admit to their family and friends how bad it is. I mean, do you realize how much marriage must suck if you're a man who dresses up as a woman? What? Do you realize how bad marriage must be if this is what married dudes are having to do? OnlyFans, Cam Soda. This is how bad it is, man. He thought he was going to have a XXX rated beauty queen for the rest of his damn life. And he's like, I'll be damned. Didn't make it to 40 before the wheels came off. Now he's stuck with her for the rest of his damn life. All the people everywhere you go, your wife has achieved more than you. So everywhere you go, people are asking you about your damn wife. So he's got to stuff balloons in himself and wear yoga pants to be the woman he wishes he could be with. Damn! These fellas are throwing grands on OnlyFans because they got to be the woman that they wish they could be with. Man, you talking about walking down the aisle. More like walking the gangplank. Walking to the gallows. This is where they at today. All right, let me go ahead and see if we can jump back over here on Zoom again. Speaking about folks we hadn't heard from here in a minute. All right, we got Dan here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Dan?
What's going on, brother? Long time no talk. How you?
I thought you was in the joint again, bro. I ain't seen you in a minute. I thought them people came and got you was back in the joint.
No, them days over with, player. Them days over with. I'm a civilian. I want to speak on. I'm gonna speak on the topic. Now I ain't hear the first part of the program with Leslie Jones. Truth to be told, I really don't necessarily need to hear that, because coming from her mouth saying that marriage is slavery. I mean, I don't know nobody in her field who's one to take off the market. I don't, because she is kind of. Never mind. But I think it's weird for that white dude.
Here's the thing. I mean, Leslie may have some strikes against her. However, the biggest strike against her is her attitude. Because here's the problem. We can just look at her and it's dripping and it's like talking to one of them chicks. It's like looking at one of them chicks at the DMV. We all know them. It's just like she doesn't have to open her mouth, even if she's smiling the few times she does. The problem is the attitude. The attitude is overwhelming. Worst of all, it's nonverbal now. It's nonverbal. She doesn't have to say anything. The attitude is just blasting at you like a furnace when she walks in the room. And so much of the issue could be fixed. Folks want to talk about her voice. Her voice would be different if she felt like a woman. Her voice would be different if she felt like a girl. Here's the problem. Because of your attitude, men don't treat you like a girl. They treat you like another nigga. So, okay, and your voice keeps getting deeper and your shoulders keep getting broader. Well, hell yeah, because you giving masculine energy. As men, we don't give feminine deference to somebody who's hitting us with masculine energy. We don't do that. You hitting us like a dude, we're going to give you that dude energy. And it just keeps multiplying from there. That's why it's not getting better for her.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that detail, but you said it for me. But so far as with the white dude, it's a lot of that going on with these other groups. I'm just gonna be nice. I'm gonna be very nice with my words, but it's a lot of that going on in that society. Whether it's white conservatives or white liberals, don't make a difference. They the same. But $25 a minute, damn. To be honest with you, brother, my jail call wasn't that damn much. Shit.
Oh no, brother, these hoes getting over out there. But you make a very good point, man. It's all fake. It's all phony. It's all for appearances. Charlie Kirk was talking about his woman, and as soon as he was in the ground, she's dancing and singing. And then you find out that she was talking to one of his homeboys right before she got with him. So it's just everybody's out here faking and fronting and whatnot for appearances and trying to front to you like they got everything's going great and everything's fine. And then you look under the damn cover, it ain't fine for no damn body.
Now, one more thing. Now, I do have to say this. About the married dudes. I've been seeing a lot of this, especially going to the casinos. You know what I'm saying? Because the casinos be giving me a lot of money anyway. They will give out a bunch of free table bets and stuff like that, but I use them to my advantage. And if it don't work out in my advantage, it's not my loss, it's their loss. I noticed this is what I've been noticing too lately when I be going to these casinos, or I be going out of my everyday life, and especially about a lot of married dudes, and I'll be talking to some of them, or some of them be asking me certain questions. Like, a lot of married dudes definitely overpaying, man. And this particular casino here, they just opened up probably like a year and some change ago. And what I noticed about this particular casino, it's a younger crowd, predominantly black, a younger crowd. And I know what I do notice by talking to other family members, I did not notice. I noticed that it's a lot of young women that go through this particular casino because it's a lot of strip clubs around there, which is you know how you talk to different people, and these chicks would be like, they work at this particular place, and I kept hearing the name. I asked my cousin, I'm like, what is this place about? They like, well, it's a bunch of strip clubs around here. And oh boy, the married dudes overpaying, and the strippers, they not the smartest gamblers. I'm gonna just be very, very honest with you on that one. They fuck it all. I'm talking about strictly off the pole and right up the street to the boat they go. And
that's why they gotta be strippers, bro. They gotta live with fast money. They blow their money, so they need money in a hurry. That's why they go into the sex trades, whether it's OnlyFans or stripping, because they need money in a hurry.
I understand, but here's the thing, though. You would think that, like, okay, I ain't gonna be able to do this forever because my looks gonna change. It's kind of like with men who in the streets. We ain't gonna make no street money forever, so I gotta turn to do something different with it. These strippers, when they go gamble, brother, they fuck it all the way off. You know what I'm saying? It's because in their mind, hey, listen, I could give me a trick in one of these boats, and again, it's usually the married dude, because I pay attention to everything. Because this particular casino got hotels, they got a whole spa, they got everything in this motherfucker. So, and they be trying to walk it in their ass out, but those older women, security guard, they ain't going. They put them right on now. Say, hey, you gotta come here and dress a little bit more modest. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, look, because the hoes are always going to casinos and stuff, whether it's Vegas or wherever. They're looking to see if they can pick up something. So they're not looking to win at the tables. They're not good gamblers. They're looking for a fella with the bag at the table. Let me see if I can get him instead. You talked about that before. They're looking for a fella walking away with some winnings. She ain't trying to figure out how to do these table games.
Remember, I told you a minute ago, and I said this on your broadcast before. I say anybody that's disabled, or you don't get that, or if your man that's able-bodied, don't get that much female attention. If they all of a sudden want to shoot they shot at you just out of the blue, you never seen them before, I don't want to give a fuck how fast she look. Man, that is a red flag. It's two things. She want the pockets, or a nigga done set her. That's either one or the other. So, and it's stories that's going around like that. But me, I'm a lot smarter because I'm around. And for two, I'm not no desperate dude. I'm not desperate for no companionship. I ain't never been no trick. You know what I'm saying? None of that garbage. You know what I'm saying? And even if some of the chicks could tell that, like, hey man, this young man know what you're talking about, or he's intelligent, like they'll try to catch your attitude or try to act like you don't know what you're talking about, or try to make it seem like you crazy, but then they think to themselves, shit, I can't get him. He ain't no easy target.
I mean, look, that's what the game is today. They're not taking it easy on these dudes. If you are low-hanging fruit, if you are a mark, if you're a lame, they're targeting you. They targeting you. They targeting the pockets. They targeting to break you. If you're desperate, these chicks ain't trying to take it easy. If you came to them with the desperate energy, you on her website, you're on her page, and that chick, by the way, she's got a bunch of stuff, y'all. I mean, she's got a bunch of things. Over there on only on OnlyFans, she's got a discount going right now. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think the money is as thick as a lot of folk want to pretend it is. It looks like the typical OnlyFans stuff, but yeah, they going.
Hey, what's the discount? Five video for $20, some shit?
No, it's like she's giving like a 10% discount or something. This is wild. Yeah, 10% off for 30 days.
Oh my God.
And it's $8.99. So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is the gravy train ain't rolling like that. But I guess for her to get on Cam Sutter or something like that, if you want to talk to him directly, they go ahead and hit him up for more. And the real thing is, these guys are really just looking for interaction. They're really just looking for interaction. I think that's one of the things that happens with these married dudes is that, you know, you got this chick, you went out on a limb for her, you've gone into all this debt, you gave up all your other female options, and so the deal was supposed to be that you take care of everything, and in return, she will be your everything. And then as soon as she got you over the damn barrel, all of a sudden, she's giving you what she ain't doing. And now you're kind of just trapped and locked in it because you feel like you've been double-crossed, because you have. And then when you finally get the guts up to go do something, now you start trying to do stuff you think is safe, which means, okay, well, these fellas tell you, well, if you want to be safe, you got to pay a hose, or you got to, when you pay for it, you know, you get what you want and you leave. Okay, you see what happened here. So the lames always giving bad advice. But this is what they end up doing. So a lot of these guys get broken down. They're mentally and emotionally defeated. They start settling in their minds and getting comfortable where they're at. The situation does not get better and doesn't improve. And eventually you just find yourself just being a shell and a husk of your former self, hoping the last dignity you have is the appearance to the general public. And hopefully nobody else can tell how bad it is, because that's all you got left, because you put everything into her.
Yeah, and a lot of them be, man, and truth to be told, like in public, like I watch everything though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time I'm mostly to myself a lot, but I just be on the outside. I be watching every single thing. I watch body language. I mean, I watch it all. A lot of these dudes I'm talking about very thirsty. I'm talking about the married dude. I'm talking about very, very thirsty. Like, even if the dude, it's been time that I'll be talking to an attractive woman or whatever the case may be, and he'll try to get at her and say, damn, you know that nigga in the wheelchair? Damn, you talk to a nigga in the wheelchair? Like, I actually heard this before. I'm like, damn, these niggas ain't like that. Like,
yes.
And these niggas married. And I'm this is not something I'm making up. This is something like,
no, simps are ruthless. Simps are ruthless. Lames they're worse than the hoes are. You think the hoes are catty. Simps and lames are ruthless. They have to be.
I've been experienced for the last couple months, especially now, since a lot of these, and I'm gonna tell you something else about casinos too. A lot of the workers talk too. A lot of the female workers too. And these for these guys that like to gamble, they make more money gambling too. A lot of those workers talk too. If they all of a sudden become friendly to you, all of a sudden talk about, hey, D-Dan, how you doing, friend? And all of a sudden they come real cordial with you, and they were never this nice and cordial with you before. Trust me, they already hip to you. So I'm just letting you know now. But a lot of the married dudes, they are very thirsty. They will cop block. And this is a weird energy, because I just never been a type of dude that cop block other men. I don't hang out with those type of dudes. I don't associate those type of dudes. And I damn sure don't do business with those type of dudes who cop block other men. especially if the chick not even checking for you. But these dudes, the minute she see you talking to somebody that they feel like damn, I'm an able-bodied person, but you talking to somebody in the wheelchair, these dudes is so crazy to the point. It's like they'll allow themselves to get set up. And I have seen, and I done seen this in real time. I'm like, wow, like it's really bad out here. Like, man, look.
No, it definitely is.
But I'm just glad for me that you know what I'm saying, that I understand how this shit works and I use it to my advantage. And I don't get caught, and I'm not vulnerable, and I don't get caught up in vulnerable situations. You know what I'm saying? Put it that way. And
well, no guy thinks he is. And a lot of these fellas are walking into it. They got simple minds about it. They assume that they're smarter than the women, and you're not. If you're lame, of course, a lame cannot see that. And so most of them, that's what they're walking into. This is the best deal that they could do, and it's all for appearances. And they think they're being slick because they know they got something that's really not so great, but they think they're being slick. They're looking for cheat codes. And the simple fact is, women are looking for a guy who wants something for nothing. Because when you're talking to somebody who wants something for nothing, all you got to do is lie to them and tell them, why, sure, I got you something for nothing right over here. Just sign on the dotted line. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, the biggest mark is the one who sits up and tries to convince you that they're going to get something for nothing. Everybody sees you coming. There's no such thing as a free lunch, nor should you want one. There is no such thing as a free lunch, nor should you want one. You shouldn't even want one. Anybody offering it to you, what that means is the cost has been hidden. That's all it means. The cost has been hidden. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. All right, I think we got Prince here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Prince?
Hey, brother, I want to ask you a couple of questions. One being, is there at any point that a producer should downsize? You know, when I say that, not necessarily in their production, but as far as what they put out, as far as, you know, might downsize in the number of women they deal with and the cars they buy, they might just, you know, be comfortable with what they got. At some point, do a producer have to downsize or consider that? Just as
it depends on you, you know, because you should always be taking inventory of what you have and where you're at and what you're doing. The real issue is whether or not this is, first of all, with necessities, and then second of all, with the life you're trying to live. When you've got 10 cars, this is a character defect. You know, you're trying to compensate for something. Childhood trauma, you know, inferiority complex, and you're trying to fill it with things. So there's where you're making a mistake, right there. When you start becoming excessive, or when you don't even know what excessive is. The reason that Mayweather is where he's at is because when you don't know who you are as a person, you start looking for other things to fill that gap. Women, material possessions, adoration from others, to fill up a hole where your soul is supposed to be. When you've got yourself as a whole person first, all these other things don't make you who you are. Well, they didn't make you who you are, so now you can keep them in your proper context. So that's what Shannon meant. He's just as comfortable driving a 2026 Rolls Royce as he is a 2005, Range Rover. He's just as comfortable with either one. Well, yeah, because the car doesn't make him who he is. He makes him who he is. So if you start noticing that you're being excessive, hell yeah, it's time to downsize. Or cut the fat. It's time to do that.
So it's the person, it's how it's affecting you as an individual. If it's causing character defects in yourself, are you doing it because of personal flaws?
Yeah, what are your motives for doing this? If you're going to buy this car, what is your motive? I need 6 of them. You need 6? Okay, well, what's the practical use of 6? 2 or 3, maybe I can understand. 6? Tell me the practical were you a car collector? Were you starting a car lot? What are we doing? So what is your motive for doing that? Because that's way beyond the boundaries of any necessity that you could have. So you don't need 6. So why are we doing this? I want a closet full of shoes. Why are we doing this? There's no practical. You only got 2 feet. There's no practical reason. Okay, tennis shoes, dress shoes. I want a bunch. What are you trying to compensate for? When I was a little kid, we didn't have nothing. Oh, okay. Well, you do understand that you can buy all the shoes on earth. That's not going to fix that. If you have a mentality where you're traumatized by a childhood of want, filling yourself with these things is not going to reverse that or resolve that. You have to be what resolves it. So it's going to start and end with you. But you have to be a whole person yourself first, and then everything you have around you will have a proper place. Now you put these things in their proper place in your life, and now they're not choking you or strangling you or smothering you. And most of all, they're not bankrupting you or leaving you vulnerable to other people taking advantage.
Yeah. Now, Jason, another end of the spectrum, what about the fact that they him, Tiger Woods, Barry Bonds, 3 men that operate at the top of the game? What do you think it is? I'm sure with Mayweather, it seems to be an economic vice. What do you think it is with a Tiger Woods? Is he trapped socially, or what's going on? Why do people that then operate at the top still, sometimes it seems like they crash out for what?
It's called power. Power only makes you more of what you already are. So if at heart you are a repressed voluptuary, power is just going to make you more of that. If at heart you are a shameless skirt chaser, power is going to give you more money and more fame. Is just going to give you more of it. So it's going to follow whatever your heart's desire is. Give a person enough power and we will now see what your heart's desire really is, not what you pretend it is. 30 years ago, Tiger Woods was showing us what he wanted us to see. That was the public image put together by Nike. Now you're seeing the real Tiger Woods. This is the man beneath the marketing campaigns and the slogans and stuff and the commercials. This is the real man beneath that, is what you're seeing now. And the more that he doesn't have anybody in any position to tell him no. He's got all the money he could ever have and no one who can stop him. And this is what he would really do and really be if there were no one to stop him. So this is the real person coming out.
What concerns me, brother, is all the men that I mentioned, they had their fathers in their life at some level. And that's what I'm concerned about. So even with that, that's not a necessary factor.
Because the so-called caliber of, quote, fathers out here is pathetic.
Deal with it, nigga.
So, you know me, years and years ago, it's been over half a decade since I told y'all I don't hear that anymore. The red pill morons and jackasses sit up here and say that because they need to give an answer. They've never thought about whether or not it was the correct one. Have you seen the crop of females out here? A lot of them got their fathers in their lives. A bunch of the chicks on the pole at the strip club, daddy in their life. A bunch of these chicks who are single moms grew up in married homes. That is a testament to the caliber of the so-called fathers out here. The Catholic schoolgirl sluts and everything. That's a testament to the caliber of fathers out here. So that does not impress me when some chick wants to talk about her dad and then some manosphere moron trying to tell you about what was her relationship with her father. Have you seen the caliber of so-called fathers out here?
Real talk.
It's not like these are the best. Y'all are talking like these guys got it sewn up. Now, are they necessarily as bad as the single moms? No, but in these married homes, these chicks are getting every simp and lame for the bailout. So what you got is some beta bailout, and these are their daughters running around out here today. So no, when they talk about their father, I'm like, oh, heifer, I'm not impressed. I have seen the caliber and quality of, quote, fathers out here, and I am not impressed.
And listen, fellas, if you let a woman destroy your legacy, you ain't got nothing. And that's with your children, your credibility, whatever you're doing. But it's, Jason, it's really what you said. You can't, if a woman wants to undermine you, she can do it with the state. She can go and try to disrupt your children. If she can't destroy them, she can definitely damage them. and no consequences on our end. There's an Oprah to listen to her talk about how bad men are. And so I hope we can get this situation worked out where we can get the men and women back together. I understand that's an issue. But do you think women will always have the power to destroy a man's legacy?
Well, I mean, if men allow it, but you have to be very, very careful and vet very carefully. And the problem is that most males are looking for unlimited sexual access, and then they fall into the stupidity of thinking marriage gives you that when marriage has never given you that. And as a result, most men are not even trying to protect their legacy. They're really not. They're really focused on what they can get on the front end, and women are taking advantage of that short-sightedness. So vetting is a real key thing, because I'm a firm believer. That's why I told you all, as a man, you need to wait till your late 30s at least, and you need to wait at least 2 or 3 years, because she can be fake for 6 months. She can't be fake for 24 months.
No.
She can be fake for 2 months. She can't be fake for 2 years. You will see the warning signs of the real character start to slip out every once in a while. Now, if you're silly enough to tell yourself, well, that was just a fluke, she just had a bad day. Okay. But if you hang around somebody long enough, you will see the warning signs, including fatal flaws. You will see those things too. It's like, okay, I guess you got tired of pretending. I guess it was too hard to cover it up all the time. So eventually, you let the mask slip, and eventually it does. That's why most women try to rush you to the altar. When you're the guy who's gonna patch together them holes, first thing she gonna do is try to rush you to the altar. You saw that in the military all the time. Let's get to this damn altar. Yes, she wants to hurry up and do that before you have enough time to really think this over. Well, yeah, that's not accidental. I don't be playing around. I want folk wasting my time. Wait a minute, that nigga you was with last time was 5 years. If I'm better than him, how is it I'm better than him, but I don't get the same amount of time for evaluation he did? So yeah, you're not gonna give him 5 years and then tell me I got 5 months. How about I give you 5 seconds to leave? How about that?
Exactly.
So no, fellas need to be very careful, because you have more to lose. You have a more oppressive system out here. It's more dangerous than it's ever been. You have to be more cautious. You have to be. So if you're just so desperate that, well, she said if I do this, then she'll solve my loneliness issue. Okay. That'll be up to you.
They're not willing to walk away, Jason. They're not willing to walk away.
No, that's what females are looking for today. Most females realize that most guys can't walk away. The reason they can't is because most males, and I posted this on Facebook, most males see themselves as 3s and 4s. And in a lot of cases, they may be true. But most guys consider themselves 3s and 4s. And the problem is, women are willing to share a guy, but guys are not willing to share a female. So the female 3s and 4s have an option that the men don't. Because the 3s and 4s, they'll all sleep with a fellow who's a 6 or 7. They'll all share him. And the females who are supposedly 8s or 10s, they'll share the guys who are 8s and 10s. But for the fellows who are 3s and 4s, you're not going to share even if your chick is only a 4 or 5, you're not going to share her. You're not going to share her. So the women realize they got leverage in that regard. So the guys who are 3s or 4s, they treat the females who are 3s or 4s like 8s or 10s, because in order to get her to not exercise her option of sharing a 4 or 5.
But this corrupts women. Jason, full disclosure, man, I was on my ladder. I fell off, and I wouldn't brace myself because I had a $800 saw in my hand, pole saw, and my body that I fell on didn't hurt because I kept leaning on the side that wasn't hurting. And then I had my knee like inflammation. So I go up to this VA hospital, and I'm in pain, man, because I don't want to go to the hospital unless I have to. And this lady, these black women sitting up here, these heckling hens, she want me to say my Social Security number out loud. This is the thing that the black women that work at the VA do. Because if you don't flirt with them, you don't come in there trying to pop your benefits or whatever. They got issues with it. And I just have it on the card or whatever, and they do whatever they're gonna do. She was hostile, and the white lady was trying to play nice. I say, I don't need you to play good cop. I'm here just for healthcare services. I'm not here to entertain none of y'all. and they got quiet. But the thing is, man, these people, because you guys out here are sitting up here playing around. If I'm coming to a hospital, I'm coming there for health care. I'm not coming there to look for a woman per se. And so these guys done got these women feeling like, oh, you don't say what I want you to say? That ain't, I'm not here for that. Get that sucker to do that for you. And I think the guys are a big problem. These simps are a big problem, Jason. And like I said, I don't know if we can do anything about them, but like they were saying with our brother Dan, dirty macking against him.
Well, the first thing I will try to do is make sure there's awareness and that we have a proper context of what the awareness is. So, yes, the simp economy is crazy right now. I mean, you got chicks getting $25 a minute. This is how out of control that is. Not $25 an hour, $25 a minute. This is how desperate these guys are. And the big lie has been that, the matrimony, they're so happy and whatnot. And then you find out that OnlyFans and these cam sites, their whole economies are powered by married men. So when you go into these circles where these females are, especially if there's benefits involved, man, the simps and the tricks out there are outnumbering everybody at this time right now. Now, the numbers, I believe, are going down because it's harder to keep doing that. And the younger generation is not so eager to do it. These old cats who are coming to their retirements or whatnot, those are the ones blowing the bag and looking to see what they can go trick it off on. And if they go in a hospital setting and whatnot like that, the first thing they start doing is offering to pay these nurses car bills and stuff. That's the environment that we're in. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, Jason, you telling the truth. They had to pass a rule over at the VA that the nurses or doctors could not marry a veteran on their deathbed.
But that's not preventing them from taking money, gifts, or anything else.
No, it's
that's
not.
The issue. And the whole professions, my nurses out there, my nurses stand up. Hey, Prince, I ain't hating. The nurse is going to be mad at me tonight. I'm not hating. Ladies, I'm just saying, hey, I just want us to call it for what it is. Let's just call it for what it is. I'm not mad at you. It's not demonization. But y'all know full damn well that's what the hoes going to nursing. The hoes going to nursing. The hoes going to airlines. The hoes going to... We've already done that program. The military. Yep. I mean, I'm not hating on that, but so I'm just saying we just need to be straight about it. When y'all see these old dudes with VA benefits coming up in there, y'all know some of y'all be trying to peel off a little something. Y'all know that. You go find some impossibly old dude up there, and then you calling him old daddy, and then y'all start saying that stuff that these females wasn't saying in their 30s, but they start calling dudes daddy. When that right there happens, it's like, okay, that's game. Now she running game, bro. She wasn't talking like this 5 years ago. Now she running game on you. And go ahead and shave off that. And brother, they'll have 5 or 6 of y'all. They'll have 5 or 6 of you.
Think about that.
Brother, it's the same game everywhere. I started the program telling y'all that you're not the only one she's talking to. When females have a financially transactional relationship with you fellas, you're not the only one. When women are sitting up here hitting you up, where are we going? She got to go on vacation. She got a car note. She's telling you about her financial issues. Bro, you are not the only guy she's doing this with. You're not.
Around.
If you don't live with her, you're not the only one she's doing this with. If she's going home to a different house than the one you live in, she's doing this with at least 5 or 6 of you.
Yes. Jason, I want to ask you, my last question was, with the young women, do you think the Leslies of the world are corrupting them, or the younger women playing their own game? Are they listening to these older women and the corruption that they're bringing, or are they just these women out there? Can they learn from another woman's mistake, or is that impossible?
I mean, you can learn from it, but the issue is they're not listening to Leslie. They're listening to the Leslie Jones types in their family. So they do end up listening. They do end up listening to them on account of the fact that they are kind of trapped in this, environment with them. So that's really what's happening. Leslie Jones is in the media, but you got Leslie Jones in damn near every family with these chicks out here now. You got one of those doing that and one far worse. She's actually kind of lightweight with it. But you got ones who are far worse. So that's more what I would be concerned about is the folks in their family, not somebody on the internet. She's just articulating what's safe to articulate because it's already been cleared and articulated in the family. So that's why Leslie can be so safe saying it openly. But when they get home and stuff like that, the real thing is for these old chicks who have already phased out and they've already been cycled out and aged out, they want the young gals to have company with them. So their job becomes okay. They do it for two reasons, by the way. There are actually two reasons involved. So one is more passive in that they're just regurgitating falsehoods. The other one is more vindictive. Because take a look at what Leslie said. The black men didn't like her. Okay, then as petty as it is, well, if I can just contaminate these 5 girls' minds over here, I'm getting even with you. You don't want me? Well, then we'll just go ahead and contaminate the pool for you. Matter of fact, I'll make it a lifetime of doing that. And that's really what feminism is about. Feminism was all the undesirable females of the 50s and 60s made it their job to contaminate the minds of Gen X. We'll poison them, we'll contaminate them, and that would be their revenge. And what you found out, it wasn't just one Gloria Steinem. You had a Gloria Steinem on every street corner. Because what they saw was, and really one day I'm going to have to go into this a little more in depth, the advent of the middle class. Think about what it was back then. You had a bunch of women who were able to sit at home.
Yes, they did.
They were housewives. Okay, but what about the ones who weren't? What about the ones who all they spent their lives watching men take care of these other women over here, and she was never eligible?
So this is a way for them to compete now?
What I'm telling you is where it started.
Okay.
So think about that time frame. At that time frame, the 40s, 50s, 60s, the advent of the middle class, take a look at these chicks who are the most ardent, elderly, quote, feminists today. And what was their damn issue? What was the environment they were looking at? They were looking at a bunch of women who were housewives. Why are they so angry and bitter about that? Because the women who were living that life were thrilled with it. Oh, well, you didn't like it because there was no man willing to give that to you. And you lie and say that that was a bad thing when in reality, you're just resentful that you never got an offer. Well, yeah, because you're such a terminally unpleasant, disagreeable shrew to be around. No one's going to give that to you. So instead, what that cohort of discontent malcontents made it their mission to poison the next generation. And as a form of getting even with the men who would not take them. So it's like, fine, you don't want me, I'll poison the environment around me, and that'll deny you any more options. It had a light effect at first, but you've seen as it's become a cumulative effect over the last 6 decades, which was their goal. If I can't have it, then screw it. I'm going to poison the well, and that'll punish you. And while they didn't get to actually punish the men they were resentful of at that time, they've just had to settle for being satisfied with vicariously victimizing them through the next generation. And now you're really on some spiritual stuff there. Okay, I couldn't mess you over, but I'll mess over your sons. I'll mess over your grandsons. And it's literally, that's what it's on. But when you think about it, look at the environment that they were in. A bunch of housewives sitting at home, didn't have to deal with all this stuff out here. The men bought the house, bought the car, the vacations, and the whole 9 yards like that. That's what the environment they grew up in. Now imagine being one of the females, seeing this all around you, and you didn't get one because of your screwed off, messed up attitude. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. I mean, if y'all want a real clear idea and explanation where that comes from, it's not hard. Take a look at the social conditions. You can see what it was. You can see what it was. The disagreeable malcontents who refuse to change. They refuse to do anything different. And they just say, well, man, screw it. I'll just poison this whole damn thing. If I can't have it, damn it, if I don't get nothing, ain't nobody gonna get nothing. And take a look at Leslie Jones. That's what you heard from her saying there. She didn't get it, and now she wants to tell the young girls, you shouldn't have it either. I don't have it, I can't get it, and you shouldn't get it either. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even want it. Well, who is that for? And then Leslie will turn right around and tell you that she loved men. It's like, okay, yeah, but she's not getting the one she wants. And she's getting constant reminders of it. And had she committed she's 58 now. Baby, what did you do for the last 30 years? You've had 30 years to address these issues, and you didn't do it. You sat there saying that the men are going to have to accept you the way you are, and then you found out you's a damn lie. They don't have to accept you the way they are. I mean, there'll be some guys who will take you. It'll just be fellas who is just blatant to you that, oh, this is the bottom of the damn barrel. This is the bottom of the barrel. And that's what it becomes. For the men out here, Leslie has not had any man leading with his wallet. Damn! I mean, they watch these things, folks. They watch other people. They see the benefits package other people are getting. They see what other women are receiving. You can't miss it. It's inundating all around you. They see who's getting what and how they're getting it. Which means that they are ultra aware of the fact that they ain't getting it. Ultra aware of that. No, they're not happy with it. They're mad as hell. And it's like, okay, well, damn it, if I can't get it, I'm getting even. I'm getting even. So this is what the new mission becomes. The new mission becomes, all right, well, screw it. And had she used all this effort and energy that she has placed into these coping mechanisms all this time, she could have placed it into something else. There are a whole lot of better places that you could have concentrated this energy and gotten a much better rate of return. But hey, y'all, bitterness feeds into bitterness. Bitterness feeds into bitterness. It becomes a vicious cycle. The worse you treat the men, the more they neglect you. The more they neglect you, the more resentful you get. The more resentful you get, the worse you treat the men. The worse you treat the men, the more they neglect you. And that's what it does. It does that. It does that. And then you wake up one day and you're 58 years old and Whoopi Goldberg talking about at this point in her life she has one night stands. And I'm like, Whoopi, we would have paid extra money to never hear this. Nobody asked you at 70. Nobody asked you any of this. Why are you volunteering it? See, that's a young gal's game. That's a young gal's game, y'all. You see, young gals can do that. Young females can give you the weekly vaginal update. That's what women do. Women want you to be aware of what her draws are doing. Because they understand that you don't really get much attention outside of that if men don't know you. So women are always giving men the update on what they're doing sexually. Halle Berry wants you to know what she's doing sexually. She wants you to have the blow-by-blow up to the minute breaking news of what she's doing, when she's doing it, where she's doing it, how she's doing it, who getting it. Go and take a look up and down your Facebook timelines, your Instagram timelines, your Twitter feeds. The women are always letting you know if they're, quote, dating, what they're not liking about it. Let me post some thirst traps. What's that for? I'm not dating. So they're letting you know if they're seeing a man or if they're not seeing one. They want you to have the up to the minute update. They want you to know their sexual status at all times. Well, yeah, because that's what gets men's attention. So they're constantly advertising their current sexual status, even if they're a female whose sexual status should be inactive. Damn! Even for the chicks whose sexual status should be inactive, they want you to be aware. All of them want you to let you know exactly what they're doing or not doing. And that is because when you lack the actual skills to get men to be interested in you as a person, you instead have to rely on lures and tricks and traps and mechanisms. You have to start relying on that, even when yours has long since expired. I mean, at this point right now, it's just like, oh man, Whoopi, what's the point? What are you trying to do? It's Leslie Jones right behind her. And here's the problem. Let me tell you one more thing. Here's the problem. The problem here is that, by the way, it doesn't even come down to some of the stuff y'all thinking about. To the fellas in here, let me just get some females hip to the game right quick. To the fellas in here, when you were in elementary school, you had a teacher who looked like Leslie. Okay, but your feelings about her are much more fond. She was more nurturing. She was softer. She was more concerned, all those nice feminine traits. Men don't have a type, men have a range. We also gauge you on a range. The problem is that everything with Leslie is hard and harsh and aggressive and unfriendly and unfeminine. Everything is. It's not like just one thing isn't. Everything is. And there's a bunch of y'all females listening to me right now, and you're angry and resentful because that's you. Everything is unfriendly. Everything is harsh. Everything's aggressive. Everything's belligerent. And then you go take a look through your elementary school yearbook, your junior high yearbook, your high school yearbook. All your damn teachers weren't booty models. But there are some of them that you are very fond of. There are some of them that you remember very fondly. And you don't have nearly the reaction to them that you do to Leslie. Well, yeah, because they handled you differently. They treated you differently. And as a result, you literally, psychologically, physically see them differently. If Leslie had a twin sister who treated you, like Maria from Sesame Street. I want to give an example that everybody will be aware of. Everybody remembers Maria from Sesame Street. Back when we used to have Sesame Street. But if Leslie looked just like Maria, it would be a whole different reception. That one thing alone. The problem is, Leslie be the first one to tell you, I ain't no damn Maria. I ain't trying to be no damn Maria. It's all right, back up, Hulk. There's the problem. Yeah, if she had that type of feminine, nurturing energy, that would be different. She could look exactly the same. And the reception would be different because the way in which she carries herself and responds and reacts and acts, that would be different. She literally said, my daddy said I ain't trying to be no wife. Okay, you want to lead with that? You want to lead with that? That's what you want to lead with. But I guess after a little while, when you've been defeated for so long, you kind of just give up. I want to end tonight with a note on you married dudes out here, man. Jason, you giving the married dudes the word. You damn right I am. It's just, you wish you were single. Y'all are lying your asses off. You wish you were single. They hate that when you come back and check up on it. The situation ain't that great. It never is. And the more we wait, the more examples we see. It really is. I don't have a problem with marriage. I got a problem with the dudes and the females out here trying to promote this Frankenstein monster that you're calling this. Because for most of you, it's like, no, we got a scam going. We got a chick who couldn't do better in life. So she said, let me go get a sponsor. He's not the guy she really wanted. He's not actually the guy she really wanted. He was the one who would cut a deal, but he's not the one she actually wanted. That's a terrible situation for a man to walk into because eventually the woman gonna get tired of pretending. The problem with you as a man, you're willing to sit up here and say, well, she wasn't my first choice, but I'll take her and you'll be fully committed. Well, that's not a good thing when it's the woman doing it. It's not a good thing when it's the woman doing it. Because if you're not the guy she really wants, that means she's pretending. Well, you'll grow to love him. She ain't going to grow to love a damn thing. That's not the way that works. She can't grow to be genuinely attracted to you, passionate about you, wanting to have all of her firsts with you. She can't talk herself into that. A woman can't talk herself into wanting to have her first child with you. A woman cannot talk herself into wanting to take her first mountain climb with you. She can't talk herself into that. If you're not the kind of guy who ignites that in her, she can't tell herself, well, he's the kind of guy. No, you're not. And eventually the real thing is going to poke its head, is going to rear its ugly head, and it's going to be clear to you, oh, yeah, you're not it. You're not it. Eventually, she's going to get tired of pretending and faking and acting and placating you. Eventually, she'll get tired of it. And when that happens, then the rest occurs. Now you're just aware that I'll be damned. That's where I'm at. I'm in the situation with the rest of them. It is imperative that men do their due diligence. It is imperative that you do your due diligence and be honest with yourself. The single biggest piece of advice I can give is, fellas, if you are not admired, you are already expired. If she does not look it up to you as the living end, if you are not the guy that she admires and she looks up to, that all she really wants is to just be in your presence. Well, if all she wants to just be in your presence, she's not trying to put you in no damn headlock to marry her either. She's grateful just to be there. You see the difference? Fellas sit up here and dismiss that. Well, I mean, that's a natural thing to go. Okay, getting married should be your idea, not hers. Pushing to get married should be coming from you and generated from you, not from her. And then she drops the ultimatum on you that's supposed to not sound like an ultimatum. I'm dating with intention. I ain't going to be just waiting around forever here. You ain't wasting my time. That's her pushing the issue on you. That's not you pushing the issue, and you know it. That's her pushing it on you. Telling you that it's not a matter of whether you're comfortable doing this. You need to do this or I'm going to punish you. Well, how exactly were you planning on punishing me as a grown man? I want to hear this one. Well, I'm going to leave. Well, you know what? Let me help you with that. but most men are not willing to get up and walk away from the table. Byron Noem was unwilling to get up and walk away from the table. At some point in his life, he used to be a man. At some point in your life, Byron, you used to be a man. Think about where you are today, dude. You don't even recognize yourself. Your wife is getting power bombed by the chief of her security, and you're dressing up with balloons for a 28-year-old who immediately went to Twitter clowning you. She didn't even feel sorry for you. As soon as the news broke, she immediately went to Twitter to say, yep, I know this guy, and went straight to clowning you. Well, guess what? There's a bunch of other fellas out here, you in the same damn boat. Yeah, you might not be wearing balloon breasts or whatever. You might not be wearing yoga pants, but the desperation is real. The desperation is real. So stop trying to sell something that doesn't exist. Let's only sell what does. That's all I'm saying. Everybody, let's just be honest. Don't sell us on a bunch of stuff that marriage isn't and doesn't do. Let's only discuss what it really is and what it really does and what you're really getting from it. But don't sit up here and try to sell it as something it's not. And the truth of the matter is, you do not have a great generation of wife material out here. Don't have a great generation of husband material either, but at least the fellas are honest with themselves about where they at in the pecking order. So, fellas, if you're not honest with yourself, then don't worry. Some version of this is waiting for you. Either she's going to divorce you or have the kids, or neither one. She'll just sit there and you're in this miserable joke of a relationship. And telling yourself that it's cheaper to keep her. Okay, it's cheaper to keep her, but is it cheaper when it's costing you your damn soul and your self-respect? Is how cheap is that? $25 a minute. You guys are racking up OnlyFans. You're racking up these subscription sites, these cam sites, these fetish sites. You're flirting with the chick at the damn counter at Nordstrom's. You married dudes, man. It's just, then you get mad when we call it for what it is. It's like, hey, don't get mad at the messenger just because we're not being silly. In any case, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Leslie is sitting out there listening somewhere. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch, and they rip off the pages from the Black Book. Then they put it on their own YouTube channels and completely mess things up. But if you listen here, you got the complete explanation of it. Best way to keep locked in is click that subscribe button and that notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. You're more than welcome to go ahead and join us with that. If we hear from the young man here tomorrow, we'll go ahead and lock the game up for him as well. Definitely want to go ahead and do that. Also, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Alonda. Oh, Alonda is still here, boy. Y'all thought we were running her off. We hadn't done that. All right, J-Bo Diesel, Tamao, Pharaoh's Kingdom, Comanche Doyle, Mark Sixes, Samuel Short, Big Truck Driver signed up for a membership, and everybody else here who's joined us here tonight. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business, or your business will cost you $25 a minute.